A break for today. Thanks for your calls here on First Light. We're coming back in 2 minutes.
We're gonna have a TV party, all right!
Tonight, we've got nothing better to do than watch TV and have a couple of brews.
Hottest in the game, ain't nothing to it. World class, I'm a good butter rest.
Now that Human Resources Director Fernando Pino has Kronos for HR, payroll, talent, and time, he's completely crushing it. He even has his own hype song.
Hottest in the game, ain't nothing to it. World class, I am.
Supporting our entire workforce. Everyone has different hours, skill sets, and pay grades.
I'm on the top, I'm gonna rise up. I'm on the top, I'm gonna rise up. Now we are
Motivating and engaging our people every step of the way.
blast off to the front of the field. This is
Kronos, HR solutions for the modern workforce and the people who support them. Learn more at kronos.com/HR swagger.
I'm on the top, I'm gonna rise up. I'm on the top, I'm gonna rise up. I'm on the top.
Hi, it's Kevin Carr. In a world of politics, work, social media, family, and other distractions, sometimes you just need a break. That's where I come in. Join me every Saturday for Fat Guys at the Movies, right here on the Big Talker, KQAM. We'll talk new movie releases, entertainment news, what you might have missed at the theater, and what lost classics you can catch up on in your home cinema. It's Fat Guys at the Movies with me, Kevin Carr. And it's all right here on the Big Talker, 1480 AM and 1025 FM, KQAM.
Anyone that owns a boat knows summer goes by way too fast, and all you want to do is spend as much time as possible on the water. Now you can save that precious time on the water by getting a slip from O'Brien's Marina on Cheney Lake. They have brand new slips to rent. They're built with steel and concrete, not lumber, so they can withstand the Kansas weather. Plus, each slip comes with water and electricity, and storage is optional. If you don't have a boat but love to spend time on the lake, O'Brien's Marina has 2 brand new pontoon boats you can rent. O'Brien's Marina on Cheney Lake, 570-4136, 570-4136.
2 minutes before the hour on First Light. We had another one of these deals yesterday where a small airplane has to make an emergency landing on a highway. This one happened in Florida on a ramp on Interstate 4 just north of Orlando. There weren't any injuries. The pilot just said, well, I ran out of gas. You know, I used to fly in a news helicopter for a television station, and we always followed highways in rural parts of eastern North Carolina, and I used to have nightmares about that very thing and having to land on the highway below. Those things always amaze me. Anyway, that's Friday's First Light. Thanks to producer David Oziel and audio mixer Alex Hinton. I'm Michael Toscano, and we will see you Monday morning.
Nobody's sitting here in Charlotte.
The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series.
$1 million at the end of the line.
With $1 million up for grabs.
Topside Harvest getting a shove from Ryan Blaney.
NASCAR's greatest drivers
Inches apart, wheel to wheel.
are willing to lay it all on the line.
He clips Larson. He'll send Larson spinning to the infield track.
The Monster Energy NASCAR All-Star Race.
Let the pushing begin.
Saturday at 4:30 on the Motor Racing Network.
Your home for NASCAR is the Big Talker, KQAM.
Hi again, everybody. Tony White, Augusta Flight Center. Want to talk about our flight training packages. Private pilot packages starting at just $5,900. Now that'll get you 47 and a half hours in the aircraft, 2.5 hours on our flight training device, 45 hours of instruction, also a free headset and a free home study kit. For more information on this and other flight training options, visit our website at iflyaugusta.com, our Facebook page, or you can call us at 316-733-4080.
This is a Steckline Communications Station, K273CX, FM 102.5, and AM 1480 KQAM, Wichita Proud. It's time for your latest news from the KQAM News Center. Brought to you by Continental Truck Accessories, 6701 South Broadway. Show your truck some love with Continental Truck Accessories.
Good Friday morning. 2 Wichitans have been charged in the stabbing death of a man whose body was found in an RV in South Wichita on Monday. The suspects, 25-year-old Royce Thomas and 24-year-old Michaela Spencer, made their first court appearance yesterday and were each charged with first-degree murder and 2 counts of theft. Friends say they last saw 50-year-old William Callison Sunday evening. Monday morning, his RV was gone, and friends say they saw someone else driving Callison's truck away from the lot, pulling another trailer, and immediately knew something was wrong and called 911. Wichita police arrested a parole violator after he allegedly robbed a woman. That incident happening around 2 o'clock Wednesday afternoon at the Emily Groceries at 1905 South Broadway. Cake TV reports 30-year-old Shauntis Thomas grabbed a 56-year-old woman by the arm as she was getting into her car and robbed the woman of cash. Thomas was apprehended a short time later at a local motel. For KQAM News, I'm Rick Everett. Now Doug Downs with sports.
High school regional softball and baseball wrapped up last night. Here are the teams from our area that will be heading to the state tournaments next week. In baseball in 6A, Campus and Derby. In 5A, it's Bishop Carroll, Great Bend, Salina South, and Arc City. And in 4A, Wichita Trinity, Nickerson, Buhler, and Mulvane. On the girls' side in softball in 6A, it's the Derby Panthers. In 5A, Bishop Carroll, Northwest, Goddard, and May South. And in 4A, Andale, Garden Plain, Augusta, and Rose Hill. The Shockers open the final series of the regular season. They beat Southern Florida last night 7-6. Game 2 tonight. From the KGSO Sports Desk, I'm Doug Downs.
The Laundry Station in Wichita is Kansas' premier laundry services provider. The Laundry Station has machines for all of your needs in the Wichita area. In fact, the largest machine can handle 10 loads at a time. Imagine a laundry facility where you don't need change. The Laundry Station accepts Apple Pay, debit cards, and credit cards, and your quarters as well. The Laundry Station is conveniently located in the heart of Wichita, on Oliver at Kellogg. The Laundry Station, and online at thelaundrystationks.com.
May is Bike Month, and there's a reason that people shop and repeat shop at Heartland Bicycle. Whether it's a kid's first set of wheels, to bikes for the weekend warrior, the round-the-blocker, or the competitive rider doing the Continental Divide. And Heartland Bicycle is serious about making sure you're taken care of with accessories, clothing, helmets, footwear, eyewear, and cycles. The best of the best in Giant, Salsa, Gunner, and TerraTrike recumbent tricycles. Heartland Bicycle, 111 North Mosley, and online at heartlandbike.com.
Every day, thousands of vehicles travel the streets of Wichita. And at Affinity Automotive, we care about making sure your vehicle always performs at its best, but more importantly, is always safe for you and your family. From the simplest of services to diagnosing major issues, you can rest assured that at Affinity Automotive, every one of our technicians have the best in training. Affinity Automotive views their customers as part of their extended family, so you can expect honest automotive repair recommendations with the best interest at heart. Come meet our team at Pontiac Meridian. Affinity Automotive. Look it up and you will see our name says it all.
New trailers, used trailers, and rental trailers. A huge inventory is available now at S&S Trailer Sales in Ness City, Kansas. Coming off fall harvest, now's the time to reserve your grain trailer for wheat harvest. Demco and Timty grain trailers from 24 to 50 foot, single and double axle. Don't wait until the last minute. Call today. Hauling heavy loads, S&S Trailer Sales sells the BWS air-operated detachable trailers.
It's the safe and easy way to haul a heavy load.
Call Steve Cranston today. S&S Trailer Sales, Ness City, Kansas, or go online to snstrailersales.com.
Hi, I'm Bob Tracy, owner of Wood Savers. For 3 decades, we've been preserving and restoring decks, fences, and cedar-sided homes. We do all repairs along with cleaning, staining, and sealing the wood. We enhance the look by choosing stain colors that complement your home and add metal spindles to give your deck a whole new upgrade. Customers will automatically receive a discounted maintenance plan, so you'll never have to stain your wood again.
For a free estimate, call or text Wood Savers at 316-831-9300, 831-9300, or learn more online at woodsaversinc.com.
Now back to the KQAM News Desk.
Another threat from Iran, a leader of their Revolutionary Guard saying even short-range Iranian missiles can reach U.S. warships in the Persian Gulf, adding that the United States cannot afford a new war. This as the White House advises members of Congress about what's happening there. More on that from Karen Kafa.
The Trump administration scheduled a briefing for top lawmakers on the basis for their recent warnings. Intelligence, they say, shows Iran moving missiles onto boats in the Persian Gulf. But that intelligence, Iran's intent, and what happens next, the source of much discussion among U.S. allies and on Capitol Hill.
Missouri's Republican-led House is expected today to put final legislative approval on a bill severely restricting abortion rights in that state. It would ban abortions at 8 weeks of pregnancy with some exceptions. Democrats in the House of Representatives are opposed to approve sweeping anti-discrimination legislation extending civil rights protections to LGBT people. Wall Street stock futures continue dropping this hour, the Dow off 112. I'm Michael Toscano.
Your local weather on KQAM. Brought to you by Derby Mattress. No dancing animals, no gimmicks. Your locally owned hometown mattress store at 105 South Baltimore in Derby.
Here's your latest forecast on the Big Talker, KQAM, for this morning. Partly sunny and 83, breezy with wind gusts today and tonight up to 35 miles an hour. 30% chance of showers and storms tonight late, mostly cloudy and 67. 50-50 chance for tomorrow, high around 76. I'm Amp Harrell, and that's your latest forecast on Wichita's big station. The Big Talker, AM 1480 and 102.5 FM, KQAM.
At 6:06, it's currently 68 degrees.
This is Dana Lash, and you're listening to your home for local conservative talk, The Big Talker, KQAM 1480 AM and 102.5 FM.
It's time for Reason
They wanted to stand strong, but these are the same ones that when you say, hey, you're running as a Republican, can you support Republican values, please? The Republican values. And then they end up not doing that because we kind of know where they stand on it.
Good morning, Wichita. This is Jim Price, sitting in for Andy Hoosier on the Voice of Reason here. It's Friday. We got 6 after 6. Good morning. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Jim. How are you?
Doing good, sir. It's going to be a great day out there. If you guys happen to check the moon out before you guys took off or got up this morning, it was a fantastic moon. I guess we got a full moon here in a couple of days, so something to look forward to. I guess the crazies will be out. This is the end of the week for the morning show for Andy Hoosier, and he'll be on live on Tuesday. I'll be doing his midday show on Monday. I'm Jim Price. I do have the Jim Price show that is aired each weekend. That's tomorrow. It'll be on from 2 to 4:30 because NASCAR is pushing me up a little bit, so I'll be on just before the guys turning left. They're going to be in Charlottesville, so I guess we do have a caller this morning already. John, you got him ready to go?
You're ready to go.
Go ahead, caller.
Scott, my name.
Hey, Scott, how's it going this morning?
Well, I think that people are still even though it's been years and years, they haven't learned the basic lesson that the illegal economy supports the legal economy. Let me say that again. The illegal economy supports the legal economy. Al Capone made his money off of liquor because it was illegal, but he knew people wanted it.
Right.
So whenever you have a situation where people want to do something or are after something, and then you try to make a law against it, all you're doing is creating a whole.
You've incentivized the sin.
Right. You're increasing lawlessness by making something that people want to do illegal.
Well, so you're saying that basically, like when you tell your child, "Hey, I don't want you to do this," instead they go and do it purposely.
Right, because what you're doing is, just like the drugs. I mean, people for some reason want to do drugs, and yet they made a big industry. The government makes a lot of money off of illegal drugs.
Well, the biggest thing they make money off of is the fines and the prison time. I mean, you create an entire industry of incarceration.
Right, exactly. I mean, the prison industrial complex is created by the illegal drugs that brought in this country and the government profit. Now, this is no new thing because they've been doing that since the Boxer Rebellion in China. And the United States played their part of the British war over there with the and everything, too.
Right.
So, same thing with abortion. All they're going to do is recreate a new industry where people are doing this illegally in places where they say it's illegal.
Well, so, a lot of this has to do with like individual freedoms, right? Is it what you're saying that basically if you get the government out of the way and quit making laws for every single thing we do, and we back them out of it, it actually creates a better individual because you're not incentivizing crime. You're not making it dirty. You're not making it sneaky. You're not making it under, this underbelly of life. You actually end up creating a better person by saying, you know what, it's your body. It's your free will. You do what you want to do, but hey, we're not paying for it. You need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of your own decisions. And so we back the government out of things. We allow people to just be the person they really are instead of driving this, oh, it's dirty, it's unclean, oh, it's this, it's that, I can sneak around. If you get away from that, then you actually end up creating a better society because then we can be more honest about things, right? We don't have to sneak around or use code words or be, subversive, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now, the government, as far as I know, they're in favor of all this. I mean, so they're about a police state.
Well,
and so
you get rid of jobs, though. You eliminate a lot of $15 an hour jobs if you get rid of the prisons, right?
Well, yeah, because with the prison industrial complex, they're creating, like you say, a lot of $15 jobs,
which aren't amazing jobs. I mean, this is not something that's a life-changing job at $15 an hour, right?
Yeah, and they control a lot of the society where they wouldn't be controlling before.
Right.
I mean, you can stop somebody on the street and frisk them for no reason.
Well, and that's
creating that police state agenda.
Right. Well, that's where we got to get away from the idea that we can allow for the entrapment. I call it entrapment. I don't know what the true legal definition of it is, but when you set up a crime and you're law enforcement, you set up a crime for someone to commit, I think that's actually an entrapment to me. I think that's something that we need to relook at in life. I think it's something that we have to say, you know what, we don't want to be the prey to the predator. And the system has set itself up that way accidentally. I don't think it's an intentional thing. I think it had good intentions to keep crime and keep people, in line. But now we're creating crimes. We're going out and creating a drug bust. We're creating like the speeding ticket I talked about yesterday. It was a 40 that dropped down to a 35, and the police officer just sat there right past the 35-mile-an-hour sign. And he got me for 6 over. I mean, that kind of stuff is really where that's why people get a bad taste in their mouth about these kind of laws and those things. We do have another caller coming in. I do appreciate your input on this. This has been a good call. Appreciate it. I'm Jim Price, and we do have another call coming in, Scott. Appreciate it. Thank you. John, we got a next one? Yep. Go ahead, caller. Are you there? Oh, no. Try one more time. Okay. Yeah, I thought we got rid of most of the gremlins yesterday. We did have a big power outage right there at 7 o'clock yesterday for about 40 minutes. So we did have a huge learning curve on getting things back up and going. When we depend so heavily on computers, when they go down, you're just basically lost in the dark.
I think he's there now, Jim. Are you there, caller?
Yes, I'm there.
Hey, caller, what's your name?
My name is Pete.
Reed, go ahead. What's your comment this morning?
Well, my name is Pete, as in
Pete.
Peter.
Oh, sorry, Pete.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead, sir.
No worries. And I was just calling about Mayor de Blasio. I think I finally figured out why that guy with his record has decided to run for president.
Well, I think I'm getting ready to run for Democratic president. I think it's just becoming a trend, right?
Well, yeah.
No, I'm not running.
I think given Mayor de Blasio's record and how, in a word, inept he really is.
Right.
I think he's running to make the other Democrats really look good.
Well,
because without him, they don't look so good.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, he does make everybody look so spectacular all of a sudden. A guy who says that we can do abortions up to birth and says that he's going to make sure that illegal immigrants who are not documented, and that's what that is. When you're not documented, you're an illegal immigrant. Make sure that they have health care and free college. And that's going against even taking care of veterans, taking care of the homeless. People in New York are literally complaining, hey, clean the streets, because they're turning into a San Francisco where people are using the sidewalks as bathrooms. And they're saying, hey, why don't you do this? Instead of paying for college for illegal immigrants, why don't you go ahead and clean our streets? Why don't you go ahead and take care of our veterans first? Yeah, he's making the rest of them look shiny. They look all new and everything. So you are exactly right.
This is especially, when you consider the front runner, Joe Biden.
Oh, yeah.
Robert Gates has even said that this guy's been wrong on every point in history since he's been in public service.
Well, and it's amazing that he has gotten to the level he has, and he's just kind of almost lethargically just got there. I mean, it's not that he's actively really pushing for some type of agenda or really coming up with something new. He's just like, hey, I'm Joe. Like me, and he gets away with it. It's pretty funny. One of the comments for you on
like me or I'll lick it.
What? Go ahead. Say that again.
He says, "Like me, or I will hug you."
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, we gotta put some gloves on him or some type of a straitjacket. Real quick on your De Blasio comment, his face or his YouTube channel has actually fallen flat on its face. It really, when he launched on the 15th, he had 59 subscribers and about 20 or 40,000 views. 20,000 views, and really wasn't much. I mean, his De Blasio rollout was kind of lame. Anyway, hey Pete, I do appreciate you calling in. Great topic, and we do have a hard break coming up here, so we got to pay the bills. Anyway, callers, if you want to call in, we'll keep talking this morning. I'm Jim Price. This is the Voice of Reason, and we're going to pay some bills.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Andy Hoosier.
Ag News, Mid-America Ag Network. I'm Craig Mead. Good morning. Next week's United States Meat Export Federation Spring Conference will host an in-depth discussion on the global impact of African swine fever. USMEF will host its annual spring conference in Kansas City, Missouri next week, May 22nd through the 24th. That's Wednesday through Friday. Dan Hallstrom, USMEF President and CEO, says the opening session features keynote speaker Peter Zion on what makes trade work and what makes trade not work.
He's the author of two books, The Accidental Superpower and The Absent Superpower, and really looks at different aspects of the global trading system and what characteristics make it work and other characteristics or maybe lack of some characteristics where it doesn't work. I've heard him speak before, and really this will be one of the highlights of the conference, having him kick it off on Wednesday.
On day two, USMEF welcomes Ted McKinney, USDA Undersecretary for Trade and Foreign Agricultural Affairs. The African swine fever panel discussion planned for Friday will feature industry experts who can speak on the global impact of African swine fever, starting with Dr. Dave Pyburn, Senior Vice President of Science and Technology for the National Pork Board.
Dr. Pyburn, who's going to kick off the panel, is going to talk about what the disease is and what it isn't. And he's also going to talk about the efforts to protect the North American market. So I think that's issue number one. Issue number two is starting to understand the trade implications into China is not only the largest producer of pork in the world, but also the largest consumer of pork in the world. Then you overlay some of these tariff issues that are out there today. These are the sort of discussions that we're hoping to have and lay out for the membership.
Hallstrom says the event provides an opportunity for the entire global meat supply chain to network and learn more about global markets. You can find out more details online at usmef.org. Ag News, Mid-America Ag Network.
The sound of the bat, the smell of the grass, peanuts and popcorn. Nothing beats a day at the game. 1480 AM, 102.5 FM, KQAM, and Hog Wild Pit Barbecue want to give you that experience with the Kansas City Royals. Stop by one of the 6 Hog Wild Pit Barbecue locations and register for you and a guest to travel to KC and enjoy a game at Kauffman Stadium. Tickets will be given away May 23rd, so stop by a Hog Wild Pit Barbecue and get registered today. A Kansas City Royal getaway from Hog Wild Pit Barbecue and 1480 AM, 102.5 FM, KQAM.
Ag producer, get a jump on spring equipment efficiency now in your downtime with MJ's Truck Repair of Mound Ridge. Now's the time for farm machinery downtime maintenance and diagnostic services. So when the crops are ready to go into the fields, you're ready to get going. With diesel engines our specialty, MJ's also takes pride in superior gas engine repair and custom work on all implements. MJ's Truck Repair, under the big American flag off I-135 in Mound Ridge.
You've driven by forever, but you've never stopped in. I'm talking about Barney's Pharmacy, your Health Mart pharmacy at Central and Zoo Boulevard. Barney's Pharmacy has been Wichita's trusted source for prescriptions, home medical needs, and diabetes supplies since the 1980s. And if you're wondering how Barney's Pharmacy compares with your current prescription provider, Barney's website name says it all. Barney'sDiscountDrugs.com. With free citywide delivery, pharmacy, home medical, and groceries, Barney's Pharmacy.
When it comes to cleaning homes, dust, grime, and soap scum don't stand a chance when a team of highly trained dirt assassins from the Maids hit the scene. Ruthlessly efficient. Trained in a 22-step process perfected through years of practice by the Maids. These masters of messes have only one motto: we fight dirty. Call now for a free estimate and schedule every other week service. Call the Maids, 316-832-9058, or visit maids.com.
Have you noticed the number of box stores that sell bed mattresses is dwindling? Locked up, closed down, shuttered. I mean, of course, commission-paid salesmen who use a dancing sheep to try and lure you in. It's believable. There's a reason why people who dip their toes in the water of looking for bed mattresses end up buying at Derby Mattress of Derby. Lower everyday prices than the box store sale prices. Every day. Derby Mattress, 105 South Baltimore in Derby.
Education and entertainment. This is The Big Talker, 1480 AM and 102.5 FM, KQAM.
Good morning, Wichita. This is Jim Price sitting in for Andy Hoosier and the Voice of Reason. We've got a pretty good show going today. I think we got two good callers in first thing this morning talking about, basically the incarceration rates we have here and how we've become the nanny state or this police state where show me your papers. I need you to see your papers, right? I was like, and that's, and hey, I know initially when we said, hey, we want to solve this, we want to do that, I think the intentions are good. Mm-hmm. But like anything, you've got to go back. Sometimes you got to dial it back. You got to reset. And we just get down this road of, police traps, speed traps are fine. I think it's a great idea. No, it's not. It's just taxation.
Not when it's you that's being pulled over.
Oh, and why is it that suddenly on the 30th or 31st of a month, there's like 5 speed traps all over the city? If you're telling me that's not somebody trying to hit the quota or the money at the end of the month, come on. That's just sad. Countryside Motors, just a short drive down the turnpike for some big savings. Check out the Buick and Chevy cars and trucks, along with the Polaris and Hustler ATV. And turf equipment. Countryside Motors is in Wellington. Online at countrysidemotors.net. That's countrysidemotors.net down in Wellington. I tell you, the de Blasio thing. I actually had that article pulled up from the New York Times, and it's kind of you look at the idea. This guy is running basically the largest populated city, I guess, in the world, or at least in the nation. I mean, and he rolls out with 24,000 views in 2 days, and I think it's 59 subscribers. I mean, he didn't even really I get more than that on my YouTube.
Right.
I got my show, the Jim Price Show, is on YouTube, and you can go back and watch my shows and stuff. And I'm not running for president. I'm just a local guy doing a weekly show, and somehow I'm doing about as good as old de Blasio is by numbers, and I'm just here in Wichita. Wichita's got under about 880,000. In the rural and kind of the area around Wichita. Yet this guy's got millions of people, and it's, he's always on TV. He's always running his mouth about something he doesn't like, and they're giving him plenty of airtime. But then to say that he's killing it on his presidential rollout, it fell flat. So these are things that kind of the proof in the pudding, I guess. The guy really isn't that great. I mean, he thinks he's pretty good. I mean, I guess he's got some money. Him and his wife have rolled around in some cash and they're able to do some stuff. But what was kind of amazing, a lot of people were very disappointed that he went unopposed. He went unopposed as a mayor candidate. And I'm like, how is it the most populated city in the world has a candidate? But yet, in the Democratic presidential side, we've now got 20-some plus 3 more that are in the investigative stage, which, like I said yesterday, I don't understand how you're still thinking about it. Well, I don't know, but I'm going to announce that I'm thinking about it. There's some things that we do in this whole process, like, well, I'm going to think about it for. Well, how long did Biden think about it? I mean, he sat there and skirted that. Well, I don't know. And
then all of a sudden he's in.
Well, and it had everything to do. Everybody knew it had everything to do with the reporting on the cash when he would actually. It was April 25th or something was the cutoff for the quarterly reporting for presidential candidates. So he was trying to get into another quarter so that he could, that when he announced, it could be this big flow of cash, and so that show that he's out there. Because I guess what was it? The Irishman that's Beto O'Rourke. He pulled in $6 million the first day.
Wow,
$6 million. Now, I mean, I don't know. I was like, hey, $6 million. But I guess he's married into money. I guess his wife's family is loaded. So he really doesn't have a job. He doesn't have anything he needs to do. So he's going to run for Senate, and then he lost to Ted Cruz by a lot. It wasn't one of those 2-3 point, separations, kind of like the Georgia governor election was. That was a tight race. But for him, I mean, he got stomped. He really did not do a good job. And all of a sudden, it's like, you know what? I did so poorly in Texas. I'm going to run for president. Now, he did get $6 million worth of people, but I don't know what his numbers are, after that. But I just kind of wonder what we're doing when we have so many candidates out there running. There was 2 guys that came in last week. I have no idea who they are.
It'll all separate itself in the wash when they actually start debating one another and tearing each other up.
How do you do a 26-person debate? Let's go with 20. Let's say that they get rid of all the hey, let's narrow it down to 15.
Yeah.
If you're doing 3-minute segments with each person, you start doing the math on 15, that's a little longer than an hour, just probably for one question by the time you get through people running over and asking the next question and all that. I mean, you get one question done in an hour, how long are people going to really tune into that? How long are we going to pay attention?
They're going to pick, like you say, they'll pick 15. They'll pick who they believe are the front runners in this thing.
But then, but Biden's where we're at now. I mean, I appreciate what he did in the past. He's been in the Senate a long time. He did his thing, but it's kind of one of those things. I'm like, you know what, dude? Hey, let it go. I mean, he is older than Trump.
But is he older than Sanders?
I think he is. I think well, if he wins, they say he will be the oldest ever.
Okay.
Like he will have beaten Reagan. Reagan was, I think, our oldest president going into it. So this is Jim Price. I'm sitting in for Andy Hoosier. He's up playing with guns and talking about guns up in Pittsburgh, PA.
Now, Jim, do we have time for a brief news?
Yeah, let's go for it. Go ahead.
Let's see here. This, and you'll hear this on Monday as well. We had that power outage yesterday,
right?
And Rick Everett has an update for us on that power outage. Let's hear from Rick.
All right, John, Jim, it wasn't just the radio station that got knocked off the airwaves. A Westar employee told me yesterday that it was a squirrel that knocked out power to a swath of western Wichita. The animal apparently caused a short in a transformer on Mays Road between Maple and Central yesterday morning. Traffic lights were knocked out at Kellogg and Mays Road. KQAM obviously knocked off the air for a period of time as well. Westar had power returned to the area within a short time. The squirrel didn't fare so well. I'm Rick Everett.
Thanks, Rick.
Well, that's wow. So we could take down an entire radio station and a segment of town with a 1-pound animal,
right? Just
doing his job, right? What? The last thing he remembers, he doesn't remember. He's where were you when this happened? I have no idea. I'm just on the other side now. He caused a lot of havoc for a lot of people. I know that there was traffic delays here at Mays and Kellogg, and we obviously got to go through and have an exercise. And
oh my,
I do appreciate everybody hanging on and the callers that did call in.
Yes,
there was some confusion on how much we were really getting on the air, those kind of things, because we really couldn't tell on some things. So, but hey, we're back. Obviously, we've had a couple good callers this morning. One of the things that I did mention yesterday, today is my 23rd birthday.
Happy birthday.
Wait.
Your 23rd. Wait a minute. Your 23rd birthday?
Wait, no. 20. Actually, I'm going to be 48 today. Is that how you say that? I'm going to be 48. I'm already 48. Today is the day that 48 years ago I crawled out from underneath the mucky mire, and here I am. Right. No. Anyway, it's good to be on the air. I enjoy the callers we've had. I enjoy talking with you, John, and looks like we had a squirrel that wreaked havoc in our day yesterday. Rest in peace, Mr. Squirrel. I hope everything works out for you on that.
Yeah.
So we will take callers as we're going along today. We do have some Rocklahoma. I got to do my big radio voice there. I got Rocklahoma tickets coming in the 9 o'clock hour. So if you guys want to pay attention, call. We're going to have a caller number coming in for Rocklahoma tickets, 3-day pass. We'll get you guys down there and partying with the big boys. I'm Jim Price. I'm sitting in for Andy Hoosier. This is the voice of reason.
Here's the latest from the KQAM News Center.
Just hours after President Trump said he hopes the U.S. is not on a path to war with Iran, a top Iranian military leader this morning seems to be threatening U.S. warships in the Persian Gulf with attacks by short-range missiles. Members of Congress are digesting President Trump's new immigration proposal, which includes favoring younger, highly educated people over those with family connections. Arkansas Republican Senator Tom Cotton agrees.
The simple fact is we don't need more unskilled and low-skilled workers in our country. And in fact, blue-collar workers are the ones who have least shared in our common prosperity over the last 30 years.
Missouri State House today is expected to give final approval of a bill to ban abortions at 8 weeks of pregnancy, with the governor expected to sign it. Conservative Republican Roy Moore of Alabama is considering another run for Senate next year, his last attempt derailed by allegations of sexually harassing teenagers. National GOP leaders say they'll try to stop Moore from getting a party nomination. Stock futures are sliding deeper this hour. I'm Michael Toscano.
I'm Angela Aranella, buyer for toys at Party City. I have 2 little girls. I'm working to show them that women can work and still be moms. They think actually I'm kind of cool because I buy toys. What am I working for? I'm working to make kids happy. There's really no better feeling than that.
At ADP, we're designing a better way to work so you can achieve what you're working for. HR, talent, time, benefits, and payroll. Informed by data and designed for people. Learn more at design.adp.com.
Filling an opening at your company means more than just finding an employee. You're looking for a fit, a match. Robert Half understands that. We know you need someone who can do the work, someone who complements your culture. And of course, you need that someone fast. When it all comes together, it makes for a perfect fit. Satisfaction guaranteed. Robert Half, the matching experts in accounting, finance, IT, legal, marketing, and administrative staffing. Visit roberthalf.com/radio for more information.
Kansas Mid-America Network News. Good Friday. Governor Laura Kelly's administration is canceling 2 non-bid contracts valued at more than $110 million that were negotiated by Kansas Revenue Department officials from previous administrations. The Topeka Capital Journal reports the 10-year contracts with CGI Technologies were awarded to overhaul and outsource its information technology systems. Revenue Secretary Mark Burghardt said CGI didn't adequately perform its contractual obligations. Unusually high temperatures and a faulty air conditioning unit prompted the Kansas Department of Insurance to close its office for the rest of this week. Insurance Commissioner Vicki Schmidt said yesterday the office will reopen Monday using a temporary portable swamp cooling system. When temperatures outside reached 86 on Wednesday, temperatures shot up into the 90s inside the agency's office. Mid-America Network News.
MJ's Truck Repair at Exit 46 off I-135 in Mound Ridge, America is the largest full-service truck center between Wichita and Salina in central Kansas. Truckers in the know already know, and ag people from miles around know they can turn to MJ's Truck Repair for repair and parts for their tractors, combines, and hay equipment. You construction types, listen up. Skid steers, backhoes, forklifts, bulldozers, and payloaders. MJ's of Mound Ridge is also your construction equipment, parts, and repair headquarters. Find MJ's on the web at mjstruckrepair.com.
The Pro Z Series zero-turn mowers from Cub Cadet don't pull punches, they pack them. Featuring maintenance-free spindles, air-ride suspension seats, and the only 777-gauge steel deck in the industry. Designed after tens of thousands of hours by testing by pro landscapers, the Pro Z Series mowers are pro-tested and pro-approved. Visit your local Cub Cadet dealer and demo the new Pro Z Series. For expert advice, superior service, and exceptional offers, visit Trailers and More at 433 North Mays Road, 1.5 miles north of Kellogg in Wichita today.
Comedian Lavelle Crawford.
My mama took care of me and my sisters. She raised us the right way. She ain't bring no strange men in the house. She introduced them. This is your Uncle Larry. I said, I be like, I thought you only had 3 brothers. Shut up, it's your Uncle Larry.
Comedian Lavelle Crawford. Saturday, May 18th at 7 Clans Casino Hotel First Council.
I reckon crazy. We gonna cut your head off. I say, I don't have no neck, you know.
Get tickets at the casino box office or 7clans.com.
Here's your latest forecast on the Big Talker, KQAM, for this morning. Partly sunny and 83, breezy with wind gusts today and tonight up to 35 miles an hour. 30% chance of showers and storms tonight late, mostly cloudy and 67. 50-50 chance for tomorrow, high around 76. I'm Amp Harrell, and that's your latest forecast on Wichita's big station. The Big Talker, AM 1480 and 102.5 FM, KQAM.
At 6:35, it's currently 67 degrees.
It's your boy Joe Pags, live after Dave Ramsey, right here on the Big Talker, KQAM.
Good morning, Wichita. Hello, Patriots. And we got a great Friday morning going here. It's 6:35. We got a heck of a week here with the different things between immigration. We've had some things going on with presidential candidates announcing people that, why is de Blasio even in it? I get confused by why some of these people are just trying. I don't know if there's a benefit to it or if he's just trying to stuff his coffers with a little bit of cash. Beto doesn't need the money, but he got $6 million the first day, and he's out there running and saying, where's the cash going? Where's all that money go when you don't actually continue on with your campaign or you drop out? Where does that money go? Do they give
That's
it
a good
back?
question.
Is there a refund? They send everybody back their $12 a piece, or how does that? Or do they just get to keep it?
You know what?
That's cash money.
It doesn't ever show up anywhere.
That's cash money. That's not like in W-2, I got to pay into FICA kind of money.
Right.
That's like $6 million cash. Cash. I don't know. That's a life changer. I think that's something that, hey, I tell you what, John, we'll go out and we'll run for Democratic president and see if we can throw a little bit of money in our coffers. And they just say, well, it just didn't work out.
Is that something that's reportable? Do they ever report it?
Well, they report it, but where does it go after you've reported it? I mean, I know that the state of Kansas, you basically have to zero out your accounts. You have to go to a zero account. You have to show where you've actually depleted the money, give it to a charity or what have you. It can't just sit there. You can't use it for your own expenses, those kind of things. So I do know that at the state level, there is a regulatory committee that takes care of all that stuff and makes sure that we report it right and blah, blah, blah. But at the federal level, I don't know. I really would be interested to see where that cash goes.
Right. You think there would be checks and balances on that.
And again, that was one of the things that people do complain about at the federal level is the campaign financing stuff is a little bit looser up there, a little bit free will. You kind of get to make up your own rules. And so I don't know on that. Countryside Motors, they've been the complete service and parts department for your Polaris and Hustler equipment. They got full line service for Chevy, Buick, and their Polaris and Hustler. So you got Chevy, Buick, Hustler, Polaris. They got all the service down there. Those guys will take care of you real well. They got all the parts you need. They're also a Spartan dealer for the area down in Wellington, Kansas. It's countrysidemotors.net. That's countrysidemotors.net for those guys down in Wellington. Good guys. Go by and see them. They will take care of you. We have a hard break coming up here. We did have a couple callers the first thing. We did talk about de Blasio. We did talk about basically what we're saying is that we like what we have with the criminal justice system we do have. We like certain parts of it, but we don't like the victimization. And it's not saying, hey, I'm not saying, hey, people don't commit crimes, but it's how are we taking care of them after that? Are we finding ways to put people on the right path? Are we creating an industry where we just house a lot of people in cages and then we call it good? Those are the kind of things where we have to really think. We keep want to say, well, we want just throw them in jail. Throw them in jail.
But it's a lot more deeper issues than just that.
Oh, and like I said yesterday, we have the whole idea of, well, is this a social issue? Is it a financial issue? Is it a mental issue? And where's the churches and charities? Let's start with those guys. Let's churches and charities or social programs. Yeah. Let's see if we can do more with that.
Yeah.
One of the things I was thinking about is why aren't there churches going down or charities going down and making sure that people are going through, are interviewed, or made sure they've got a good meal while they're there, maybe get some good information, maybe get some resources, get them headed in the right direction, maybe get some follow-up so they don't fall back on these. So you process them in and out of the jail, or they serve time. When they get out, where's the safety net for them? Where's that backup system that allows them to break that cycle?
Well, there are some community groups out there with street ministries, even for the homeless, for those that have been incarcerated and out, but there's not enough of them.
Right. Well, but also and I know one of the things that does hinder a lot of the programs that are out there is that the government gets in the way. You can't just give people free stuff. You can't just, you have to go through this, you have to go through that. It's like, well, now wait. If I want to give somebody something, what does the government care? Why is the government getting in the way if I want to take care of somebody, or if I want to do something for them or make their life better, or try to put them on a better path? And again, this is the whole thing. We keep nobody is going around saying, you know what, we're going to freeze the budget. We're going to make things smaller.
No candidate ever said that.
No. Mike Pompeo, back when he was a House representative for the state of Kansas, the federal level, he actually did a speech, and I was there, and he said, everybody, he goes, who in here wants lower taxes? The whole room. Standing ovation. Oh, lower taxes. And he says, here's the issue I have with that. I have been in office for, at that time, I think it was like 4 years or something. He says, I've yet to have one person walk in my office or make a phone call or send an email that says, I want you to lower my taxes. He says it's always about some program that they want money for, a program they want started, some type of a law that they want to make things as the way they want them. And no one's in there saying, lower the laws, give me more personal freedom, and give me my tax dollars back. Quit spending my money. And so we talk a good talk, as human beings. We say, hey, we don't like this, we don't like that, but why aren't we making the phone calls to the city? Why aren't we making the phone calls to the county saying, you know what, we don't want law enforcement sitting behind trees with LiDAR guns. We want them, making community contact. We want them putting people on better paths. We want officers to make 0 arrests. We want officers to have 0 tickets. I'd rather see a guy get a bonus for showing how he put a guy on a better path, how he spent time putting people on the right path instead of making sure that we've got we got somebody for a failure to stop at a stop sign. That's.
But wait a minute, you're out of your box.
Really?
You're out of your box,
Come
there, Jim.
on.
Hey.
Oh well, I think that this whole idea that I don't think I think when we talk about tickets being taxation, I think we've kind of. I think it's a nerve, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you talked about the tickets you had yesterday.
Ooh.
And, I had a no ride on red ticket when I was like 18 years old. And a no ride on red. Who's ever heard of that? But there happened to be a sign across the intersection, and it was one of them little 12 by 16 signs that says no ride on red. Well, if you're at an intersection getting off a freeway, you got cars behind you, you got cars left and right. I mean, there's a lot going on. Well, the first thing you do is you stop. You look left, everything's clear, you take off, but the cop was sitting there knowing that people were doing this, that they were doing what came automatic to them, which is you stop and you take a right-hand turn. You move on, right? You get out of the way. And he made an opportunistic moment there and made some money for the city. And it's like, what? How did that make it? All it is now is that, that's 18. I'm trying to do the math, 30 years ago. But the idea is that we are okay with that when it's somebody else.
Right.
Oh, look at that guy! I got him for speeding. He should have been pulled over. But is that? I don't think that's what we should be doing. I think there's better use of time. I really, you see these videos where people love it, where a cop gets out of the car and he plays basketball with the neighborhood kids.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or he helps the neighborhood, or he goes by his diapers, or instead of going in and turning the mom into CPS or Child Protective Services or whatever it is, he goes and buys them diapers or a gallon of milk, or finds a social service to plug them into. He's spending his time doing that. That right there, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
I'm all about that. Yeah. But the speed trap stuff, I just you got me.
Here's another one over there by the Kansas Turnpike in El Dorado, where the speed limit drops dramatically over the hill. I got popped.
Yeah.
That one. Oh, that one's
there
tough.
On 254 going into El Dorado.
Yeah, going into El Dorado.
Yeah, because you're going 65 or whatever it is, and it goes down to 40.
Yeah, boom, just like that.
Yeah, right there at that bridge.
And they caught me on a foggy day.
And they don't. Oh, really? They just happen to
be there.
Happen to be there when they know people are doing that. That right there. It's like, come on. That's not what we want. I mean, is that okay? So, what level of perfection are you going to live under? Right? You're able to be, picked on or whatever you want to call it. So we do have Rocklahoma tickets coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. We're going to go ahead and we'll make an announcement of what caller we'll take then. It's going to be a 3-day rock fest. We're giving away a pair of tickets for that. I'm Jim Price. I do host the Jim Price Show. You look it up on Facebook, on YouTube. Andy is playing guns.
Talking guns.
Pittsburgh, PA, doing a little talking, doing a little walking. checking it all out. He'll be back on Tuesday from 11 to 2. John's going to be on the morning, starting at 6 to 9 on Monday.
6 to 8.
Oh, 6 to 8.
Yeah,
sorry.
6 to 8 with news and information and traffic and weather, all that good stuff.
Right, and this is KQAM. It's 1480 AM and 102.5 FM. And we do have the YouTube live going right now. So if you guys want to see what this guy looks like behind the voice, it's not much to look at.
That's why I'm doing radio.
The light is really not good for my forehead. It was really showing that off for me. We do have a break coming up for commercials. We're going to pay a few bills. If you guys want to call in, it is old Jim Price's birthday today.
And the phones are working.
They are working today.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
We were still struggling with that yesterday. We did have some callers. But today, you guys want to call in, you want to comment on the show, or talk about something that's on your mind, let us know. I'm Jim Price, and this is the Voice of Reason.
This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hoosier.
Market information, Mid-America Ag Network. It was a beautiful day for corn, wheat, and soybeans on Thursday. We saw some gains in the livestock complex after all as well. Let's take a look at how things wound up. July corn up 9.5 at 379. September corn up 8 3/4 at 387. Strong gains the rest of the way down. Soybeans did well. July beans up 4 1/4 at 3, make that 839 3/4. August beans up 4.5 at 846 1/2. July soybean meal was 210 higher at 301.90. August up 320 at 303.40. Again, the later months were all positive. July soy oil 48 points higher at 27.72. August up 47 at 27.84. So things looked good in the soy complex. Kansas City wheat had a big day. July KC wheat up 14 3/4 at 416 3/4. September up 14 3/4 at 427 3/4. A strong day for grains and soybeans on Thursday. In the livestock complex, things did not look all that well to start, but finished strong. June live cattle up 80 at 110.47. August up 97 at 107.95. Each of the later months up by more than $1. In the feeder cattle, August up 105 at 143.32. September up $1 at 144.22. So positives all the rest of the way down in feeder cattle as well. Hogs did nicely. Had spent much of the day mixed, but straightened around and everything finished in the green. June hogs up 40 cents at 92.22. July was up 47 at 92.40. So it turned out to be a strong day in the livestock complex after all. A questionable start, but a strong finish. Cotton was up. July cotton up 45 points at 66.80, while October cotton was up 1 point at 67.70. So it turned out to be a strong day for cotton as well. All in all, Thursday was a pretty impressive day in the ag futures markets after kind of a rocky start in areas. Market information from Mid-America Ag Network.
Nobody's sitting here in Charlotte.
The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series.
$1 million at the end of the line.
With $1 million up for grabs.
Topside Harvest getting a shove from Ryan Blaney.
NASCAR's greatest drivers
Inches apart, wheel to wheel.
are willing to lay it all on the line.
He clips Larson. He'll send Larson spinning to the infield track.
The Monster Energy NASCAR All-Star Race.
Let the pushing begin.
Saturday at 4:30 on the Motor Racing Network.
Your home for NASCAR is the Big Talker, KQAM.
NextEra Energy Resources, a company that develops wind farms across the country and have been doing that for over 2 decades. And folks, they're the ones that are putting together the Pretty Prairie Wind Farm in Reno County. And they recognize there's a vocal minority that needs some answers. The fact is, when you look at the project area and the people opposing it, especially those that are claiming it's too close to them, it's not even close to their backyards. In fact, many of them are in separate towns. It's a land rights issue. The landowner has the right to call the shots on what his land can and can't do. It's un-American to dictate to them. And so, folks, this project will benefit the entire community, from Kansas State University, University of Kansas, all kinds of public school benefits. Yes, I look forward to the county commissioners making the right decision and moving the Pretty Prairie Wind Project forward. If you have any questions, friends, please call your county commissioner.
For a great time, it is Champs Bar and Grill on South Seneca, just south of Kellogg. Mike Chappell, you guys have something going on every day.
Tell you one thing we have every day that everybody loves, and that's Fireball Power Hour. Every day during happy hour and from 10 p.m. to midnight, it's $2 Fireball shot every day.
And at Champs, there's a great outdoor area to have fun.
We have 3 regulation size horseshoe pits. We've done some additions in the back with our upgrades to our picnic tables. Every single night, kicking off about 9:30, we got karaoke, and we've got a lot of TVs to watch these NBA playoffs and NHL playoffs on.
When your car starts giving you fits, do what I do. Depend on AutoSmart to take care of it. They'll take care of it in a professional and timely manner, and it'll be done right the first time. If your engine or tranny is about to shoot craps, don't go looking at new cars. See Scott about a Jasper remanufactured engine or transmission. Jasper is one of the most trusted names in the industry, and they're still the home of the $99 brake job. AutoSmart, 5751 West Central, proud supporters of the Kansas Honor Flight.
It's news talk on the web. Like the KQAM Facebook page today. This is the Big Talker, 1480 AM and 102.5 FM.
Good morning, Wichita. Good morning, Patriots. This is Jim Price and the voice of reason. I'm sitting here with John.
And we're back.
Hey, John. I tell you, there was something that just popped up here, and I did not realize this, but hey, a little solemn moment here. Grumpy Cat has died at the age of 7.
Oh, my.
Do you remember Grumpy Cat? He was kind of a phenom that he went around, and he had these really slanted, like half-shut eyes, like he was always mad about. But he it came out on HuffPost here that old Grumpy Cat's died at 7. So, well, rest in peace there.
First we had the squirrel, now we have Grumpy Cat.
But I guess he had a net worth of $1 million.
Wow.
Now I'm gonna go with my dog is not worth. I don't care. I don't think the net worth is the dog or the cat. I just don't anyway. But he did some Grandpa Chino and a modeling deal for Frisky's cat food. So he was able to make, and I keep saying he, but I think the owners.
Yeah,
I think the owners are cashing the check on that.
Definitely.
But he had 2.4 million followers on Instagram. He became an online sensation back in 2012. But you know what? Rest in peace, Mr. Grumpy Cat. I don't know how long cats live, but I think it's a little longer than 7, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I think there's so I guess anger does shorten your lifespan, is what that tells you. You need to lighten up, buddy. You would have lived just a little bit longer. We do have a Boeing update coming up with Rick Everett. Go ahead.
John, Boeing says it has finished upgrading the flight control software tied to 2 deadly crashes. Correspondent Evan Haining reports this moves grounded 737 MAX planes one step closer to getting back into the sky.
Well, safety officials still have questions about how pilots interact with the plane's controls under different circumstances, and Boeing says it is answering those questions. Next step, a certification flight with Federal Aviation Administration officials on board. That flight has not yet been scheduled.
Aviation regulators still have more questions about how pilots interact with the plane's controls under different circumstances, and Boeing says it's providing that information. The Federal Aviation Administration, foreign regulators, and airlines are reviewing Boeing's plans for additional pilot training, according to a statement from the company yesterday. I'm Rick Everett.
Thanks, Rick.
Wow, that's good news for everybody there. I know that they're talking about they want to get those planes back in the sky. You talk about the device that they're talking about, that it was basically a leveling device. It showed it gave the computer the attitude of the plane.
Right.
It's a very, very simple thing, and when you don't have the right kind of training, I guess that Sri Lanka, or which the one plane that went down, the guys were still in like their early 20s. So these guys are flying commercial flights, early 20s. One guy only had just like 200 total hours of experience, which is not much. And then to say, hey, by the way, here, just here's this big tube in the sky. Go take off, and that's what I do. There are parts of our life where we say, we don't want government, right?
Right. You definitely want government on this one,
right? And then you say, well, hey, by the way, you need to have so many hours of training. Well, this is kind of where that comes in, because we know that a lot of these pilots go into flight simulations. They do all this stuff to make sure. And one of the things when I did get my private pilot license, that was back in 2003. I have since quit flying, but one of the things they teach you is when things go wrong. They don't teach you how to fly. The flying is the easy part. It's what happens if you're out of fuel? What happens if the radio's cut out? What happens if blah, blah, blah. So it gives you all these what-if moments. You go into a stall, how to recover from a stall. So those are things that we do as Americans when we train. We're teaching these guys over and over and over again. Here's all these scenarios when things go bad. I mean, look at that Sully guy in New York.
Yeah, right. Landed a plane, avoided a major disaster.
Yeah, imagine if that guy hadn't had, the 50, or I say 50, probably 30 some odd years of flight training or flight experience that he had, and was able to glide that down. And then there was nobody got hurt.
I don't believe so. No.
So you think about it, he ditched it into the water. He slides it in there. And everybody gets out and everybody's unharmed. What an amazing story, and how tragic it would have been. But then, here's the other part. Again, we say we have all this training, right? All this stuff. But then they really kind of vilified him. We're like, well, how did you know you needed to, why didn't you go to this airport? Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? And he's like, hey, I had a limited time. I got failure here. And you want me to try to go ahead and try to make an airport that's 20 miles away. I've got to do this the safest way I can. And that's one of the things you do as soon as anything goes out. Well, I remember in my training, it's like they would do they take the prop or they take the motor and they just take all the power out of it. Oh, you've had engine failure. Now what do you do? Well, now first thing you do is start looking for a landing point. That's the very first thing you're trained to do. It's really start looking for a landing point, make sure you got a place to head, then start figuring out where the problems are. Get yourself to a safe spot, go to a safe zone, and that's what he did. He says, okay, where do I got to go? Where's the closest place I can get here and do a soft landing? And I think he did a great job. But, again, they investigated him for quite a while before they actually cleared him of wrongdoing. They were like, well, you could have landed on nobody dies, right? So nobody dies. But, I guess they're saying he put people at risk by landing in the water. But when they actually went back and he proved, he said, hey, guys, look, this is what I did. This is how I got it going on. He was completely exonerated that he did the best. He made the best decision. And, again, that's years and years of training. So we do have Rocklahoma tickets to give away in the 9 o'clock hour. If you guys want to call in to the radio station, you can do that. This is 1480 AM and 102.5 KQAM. John, you got your show coming up on Monday?
We do have a show coming up on Monday starting at 6 o'clock. We'll have news and weather and traffic information and news locally. The three things that you'll need to know. We'll get that down, drill that down, and give that information to you.
All right, we got a market update coming up.
We do
one
have
ready?
a market update. Let me see where that market update is located. Here we go.
It's been a tumultuous week on Wall Street with a big dive following the announcement on Friday of President Trump enacting tariffs with China. Correspondent Tom Busby has a look at business ahead of today's opening bell.
On Wall Street, stocks coming off more gains on Wednesday. The Dow up more than 100 points after the White House delayed slapping tariffs on European autos and auto parts for at least 6 more months. In an executive order that's a clear rebuke to China, the president has banned U.S. companies from installing any telecom equipment and services from so-called foreign adversaries, citing a potential security risk. North Carolina is suing the e-cigarette maker Juul for marketing its products to kids and causing an epidemic in that state. The FCC has a new plan to stop those annoying robocalls. Make your carrier stop them. And McDonald's will now allow franchise owners to decide which all-day breakfast items they want to serve, hoping to speed up service, especially late at night.
That's Westwood One's Tom Busby. I'm Rick Everett.
All right. Thank you, Rick, for that update on the markets. I tell you, there's that 5G thing coming out. There's been a lot of mystery about.
The biggest little golf course in Kansas.
Okay, this is Jim Price. This is the voice of reason. We're going to go ahead and go to our hard break. We'll be back here in just a few minutes.
Central Kansas. Check out their fully renovated course, including new fairways, tees, and approaches, all redone in 2018. Wedgwood in Halstead is destination golf on a municipal course with a private club feel, and they're open 8 to 8 every day. Wedgwood Golf Course, located just northeast of Halstead.
Anyone that owns a boat knows summer goes by way too fast, and all you want to do is spend as much time as possible on the water. Now you can save that precious time on the water by getting a slip from O'Brien's Marina on Cheney Lake. They have brand new slips to rent. They're built with steel and concrete, not lumber, so they can withstand the Kansas weather. Plus, each slip comes with water and electricity, and storage is optional. If you don't have a boat but love to spend time on the lake, O'Brien's Marina has 2 brand new pontoon boats you can rent. O'Brien's Marina on Cheney Lake, 570-4136, 570-4136.
This is a Steckline communication station, K273CX, FM 102.5, and AM 1480 KQAM, Wichita Proud. It's time for your latest news from the KQAM News Center. Brought to you by MJ's Truck Repair of Mound Ridge, Kansas. Sales and service of the big rigs and trailers, plus ag diesel equipment repair on and off the farm.
Good Friday morning. A children's psychiatric hospital known in Kansas will open a new facility in Wichita this July. By the end of the summer, Cake TV reports KVC hospitals will have locations in Wichita, Hayes, and Kansas City. KVC's hospital is a nonprofit organization that helps children struggling with depression, anxiety, trauma, and other mental health crises. Wichita police investigating after a 91-year-old woman reported being raped at an assisted living facility on the city's west side. Police called out around 10:30 Wednesday night to the Sandpiper Bay Healthcare and Rehabilitation Center north of Central and I-235. Police would only confirm that the woman told them she was sexually assaulted and that she was taken to a hospital. No arrests have yet been announced. 2 people have been charged in the stabbing death of a man whose body was found in an RV in South Wichita on Monday. The suspects, 25-year-old Royce Thomas and 24-year-old Michaela Spencer, made their first court appearances yesterday and were each charged with first-degree murder and 2 counts of theft. Friends say they last saw 50-year-old William Callison on Sunday evening. Monday morning, his RV was gone, and friends say they saw someone else driving Callison's truck away. Those same friends immediately knew something was wrong and called 911. The owner of a highly anticipated water park in South Wichita says it's scheduled to open to the public on Memorial Day weekend. Cake TV reports Splash Aqua Park Incorporated owner Carl Kalkbrenner said this week that the park is set to open at 10 o'clock on Saturday, May 25th. He said the park is still waiting on some permits and employees are continuing to work to get the park ready. One commute note, Ridge Road near 93rd Street North closed for repairs over the next few days, weather permitting. The culvert near the intersection of Ridge and 93rd washed out and needs to be replaced to avoid any further road collapse. I'm Rick Everett. Now sports.
The Wichita State Shockers are wrapping up their regular season this weekend at Southern Florida. Game 1 last night went to the Shocks 7-6. This is an important series for the Shockers. They need to win 2 out of 3 in order to make it into the American Athletic Conference Tournament. Wichita State and Southern Florida will play Game 2 tonight, first pitch at 5:30. Things didn't go as well last night in the final game of the series with the Texas Rangers and the Kansas City Royals. The Royals gave up 21 hits to the Rangers and lost 16-1. The Royals start a road series with the Los Angeles Angels tonight. From the KGSO Sports Desk, I'm Doug Downs.
Ah, yes, the sound of hail on your vehicle. Never a good thing. Norris Collision Center of Goddard has you covered, though, with conventional body and paint repairs as well as paintless dent repair. And Norris Collision Center of Goddard works with all insurance companies. Remember, you have the right to choose where you have your vehicle repaired. Come see your local body shop in Goddard with the home of the limited lifetime warranty. Norris Collision Center of Goddard. Big city quality, small town service.
For over 60 years, Rustiak Ford has been honored and proud to serve the state of Kansas. We always put our community first and our customers first. We help our community with our well-known Adopt a School program, the Veterans Village, the Susan Komen Cancer Run, holiday donation drives for families, events for WSU and Newman Universities, and many other worthwhile causes. And we help families find the car or truck they want at a price they need. And in addition to that low price, we throw in zero down with your good credit, interest rates as low as 0%, top dollar for your trade, and 2 years of Ford recommended maintenance on your new ride. At Rustiak Ford, we make the entire ownership experience fast, easy, and transparent. Come see us at Town East and Kellogg in Wichita or visit rustiakford.com. We always put our community first and our customers first. Rustiak Ford in Wichita, Town East at Kellogg.
The latest news from the Big Talker, KQAM. Just hours after President Trump said he hopes the U.S. is not on a path to war with Iran, a top Iranian military leader this morning seems to be threatening U.S. warships in the Persian Gulf with attacks by short-range missiles. Members of Congress are digesting President Trump's new immigration proposal, which includes favoring younger, highly educated people over those with family connections. Arkansas Republican Senator Tom Cotton agrees.
The simple fact is we don't need more unskilled and low-skilled workers in our country. And in fact, blue-collar workers are the ones who have least shared in our common prosperity over the last 30 years.
Missouri State House today is expected to give final approval of a bill to ban abortions at 8 weeks of pregnancy, with the governor expected to sign it. Conservative Republican Roy Moore of Alabama is considering another run for Senate next year, his last attempt derailed by allegations of sexually harassing teenagers. National GOP leaders say they'll try to stop Moore from getting a party nomination. Stock futures are sliding deeper this hour. I'm Michael Toscano.
Your local weather on KQAM. Brought to you by Maximum Outdoor Equipment. All equipment outdoors, from lawnmowers to snowblowers. Just south of Kellogg on West Street and online at MaximumOutdoor.com.
Here's your latest forecast on the Big Talker, KQAM, for this morning. Partly sunny and 83. Breezy with wind gusts today and tonight up to 35 miles an hour. 30% chance of showers and storms tonight late, mostly cloudy and 67. 50-50 chance for tomorrow, high around 76. I'm Amp Harrell, and that's your latest forecast on Wichita's big station. The Big Talker, AM 1480 and 102.5 FM, KQAM.
At 7:06, it's currently 67 degrees.
Morning news with Rick Everett, here on the Big Talker, 1480 AM and 102.5 FM KQAM.
Good morning, Wichita. This is Jim Price. I'm sitting in for Andy Huser.
Oh, they wanted to stand strong, but these are the same ones that when we say, hey, you run in as a Republican, can you support Republican values, please? A Republican value for 800, please. And then they end up not doing that because we kind of know where they stand on issues. So now they tried to be bold, and it was really cute watching them be bold, and they ended up caving after a couple hours, and therefore now Medicaid officially has been done, is dead for this year, and will not come back this year.
This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Huser.
Good morning, Wichita. Sorry about that. I talked over Andy's intro there. Did not realize he was going to be on that one, so I apologize. This is Jim Price sitting in for Andy Huser. Got John here with me.
We are back live.
Good morning, Johnny. Hey, it's the 7 o'clock hour. We're still on the air.
We are, and rolling.
Yeah, Westar had that report that we had a squirrel jumping around in a transformer, and a squirrel is no longer with us. He's moved on to a higher plane.
You know, we can play that again if you want.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's hear that clip on that.
And here we go.
John, Jim, it wasn't just the radio station that got knocked off the airwaves. A Westar employee told me yesterday that it was a squirrel that knocked out power to a swath of western Wichita. The animal apparently caused a short in a transformer on Mays Road between Maple and Central yesterday morning. Traffic lights were knocked out at Kellogg and Mays Road. KQAM obviously knocked off the air for a period of time as well. Westar had power returned to the area within a short time. The squirrel didn't fare so well. I'm Rick Everett.
Thanks, Rick.
Yeah, there you go. I tell you, squirrels are amazing little creatures, right? They're a lot of fun to watch, but I tell you, they can all of a sudden put an entire industry on the brakes. So I know that we got a manufacturing across the street. I'm sure they were affected too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, big time.
There's a lot of stuff going on around this area. I tell you, we've got the whole immigration thing going on right now. Trump yesterday announced that he wants to go ahead and he wants to redo amnesty. He wants to give them a different process. Basically, it's not whoever shows up the door first or whoever jumps across the fence first. It's basically saying, hey, let's set up a system that works. We know the path. Let's reset this. The immigration laws we have on the books right now at the federal level have been on the books for it's over 60 years. They haven't been changed in 60 years. Now, 60 years ago, there was a flow of immigration. There was people that were jumping the fence or coming across the southern border. But the problem is that we have an economy that's amazing. We have a situation where we've got we've exposed ourselves. We basically said, hey, by the way, here's our weakness. If you show up, say amnesty, like Beetlejuice, you just get in free. But then that kind of gets away from the idea of all these people who have sat in line, who have filled out the applications, who put their money down, who hired a lawyer to come over here, and all of a sudden, they just get in because I want amnesty. One of the things that we all know is that we cannot let people shirk the laws that way. We have to be responsible about this. Say, hey, if you have an amnesty issue, go to your embassy and talk to them. say, hey, I need to our embassy. I'm sorry, we have an embassy in those southern countries down there, and say, hey, I need amnesty. Well, then that starts the process. If there really is truly a safety issue, they're going to better understand it down there than standing in South Texas or South New Mexico or South Arizona and saying, hey, by the way, I want amnesty. It kind of looks a little suspicious, and that's the part where we know exactly what they're doing. But I tell you what, when you have a 3% return rate on amnesty hearings where people actually bother to show up for court, it makes you wonder, oh, wait, yeah, we're getting abused. Someone is taking the system and abusing it because obviously they did not really want to do it right. But I have had friends. I have a friend right now. He works here in Wichita. He's gone to Wichita State. He's been working on his citizenship now. I think it's either 4 or 5 years.
Wow!
And when he calls in the immigration, they have no idea where his file's at. They have no idea where he's at in the process. That just as soon as his stuff comes up, he'll be notified of his next step. That's how backlogged they are. But then he went through the whole visa process. He did all these things. He's paying taxes.
Right.
He has a Social Security number that he pays into. He's got, he does his federal taxes and state taxes every year. He's doing it right. He's in the system, but he didn't come over the south border and say, amnesty. I just want to be a citizen. I want, and he actually was doing it right. So now I got a buddy of mine who's got people jumping ahead of him because they want to use our system against us. And I think that's what, I know there's some people saying, well, I think Pelosi said yesterday that somehow this legitimizes, I think that's how you say it. Anyway, doesn't make it valid for all the people who came here before, that somehow this new law is going to cheapen it up or make people less a citizen. I mean, what she was saying, I like, how far did you have to go? Like, how hard did you have to think of to say that, you're against whatever Trump said? He said, I just want to sharpen up our laws, make them common sense, make it to where people are not just coming into our country without documentation, without the proper IDs, without the proper process. Hey, do it right. And she's like, first thing, oh, well, that just takes away from people, the immigrants have been here before. That means that they're not legitimate. It's like, what? How do you get to that point? All he's saying is he wants to sharpen up the system we have. Why is that so bad? He said he was going to do it in the campaign.
And he did it. And the thing that make the biggest news, separating families and putting the parents from the children. And you don't want a child separated from the parents.
And again, that's how the law is set up, though. Remember, he actually he had to go in and change. He put an executive order in there to actually say, okay, we're no longer going to take the children away from the parents. But here's the problem. John, if you got arrested today, are your kids going to jail with you? Are they going to sit in the jail cell with you and hang out with you? I mean, when you break a law, and you're breaking a federal law, by the way, you kind of screwed things up there, and there is a process. And I don't think we have these big communal jails or these family jails. I don't think that's the way laws are set up. But it's like, oh, well, because you claimed amnesty and because you came over our border illegally, you get to keep your kids with you. That's the part where I'm having a rub there. It's not a good idea. It's not a perfect system. But at the same time, you broke a federal law, and I got to keep your kids with you now. Now, I understand we don't want to separate families, but then you have the reports of, was it this year, they've had 3,800 kids that were with people coming over the border that they weren't related. See, they've been able to do these DNA swabs. See, we've got technology is getting pretty good. They do these DNA swabs of the kid and the person they're with, and they can pretty much come back in within a few hours saying, hey, you guys aren't even relatives. You want to go ahead and give me the real story here? And now these kids are, they don't want to. They feel like they can't tell the truth. They feel like they can't say this or that or the other thing and say, no, this is not something I know. They just picked me up and were using me as a ticket to get in America.
I'm sure that probably does happen.
There's some abuses of the system. I mean, like any system, we have laws that are basically out there for that 1 to 5% that keep screwing it up for the rest of us. Why do we have all these different laws for different things? It's because we have those people that can't just have good morals, can't have good common sense, and not do those things. I just don't understand that we all seem to be paying for those little things like that. We have the what's Tiger Woods is playing this weekend. Did you hear about that?
Well, didn't he tee off this morning?
Yeah, he's going back at another championship run, or they keep calling these champions. Maybe John, maybe you understand golf a little more than I do.
Oh, I have zero.
You have so I have like 1%. So I'm like double what you have.
Yeah, double.
They keep calling these tournaments championships, but I thought championships were like at the end of the season. So I always get a little confused. Like we have the championship or we have the champions of the NFL in the Super Bowl, right? And they win that game, so they're called the champions. But in golf, you get to have a championship about every month,
every week, right.
So I get to be a champion weekly. It's like I understand they're playing 3-4 days of golf, which I mean that's a
tough break there.
I got to walk around on this green grass, and I have to have a guy carry my clubs with me, and but you know what?
Little white ball.
Yeah. I tell you what, for me, I think golf ruins a good golf cart ride. I really do, riding around in the trees and the grass, and I love the landscape and all that. It's the part where I have to get out of the cart, take that little piece of metal, and then whack that ball. That's the part that is just that drags down the whole thing for me right there. It's like, I want to go sit back in that cart.
Especially if it ends up in the trees. Oh my goodness.
Right. Yeah. And then you're down there, you're chopping around the woods trying to find. Hey, I played Hidden Lakes out by Rose Hill there, between Derby and Rose Hill. And me and a buddy of mine, we were out. It was cold. One of those things that, hey, we got tea time. And it's like, well, it's like 30 degrees outside or whatever, or 35. And we go out and play. Well, the ponds were all frozen. And you talk about a great game of golf. If you can actually knock the ball off of a solid piece of ice and just watch that thing skip, it's amazing how great your golf game can be. It's like they just put these big pieces of concrete in the middle of the course. Your ball just zings on by, right? So I'm Jim Price. I'm sitting in for Andy Husier. This is the Voice of Reason. We do have Rocklahoma tickets coming up, and in just a little while here, but we'll do it. I guess we're going to do it in the 8 o'clock hour. I said 9 o'clock hour, but
8 o'clock hour. Yeah.
8 o'clock hour. It's 2 passes for the 3-day Rock Fest. We will be giving those away. We'll let you know when that's coming up. I'm Jim Price. This is the Voice of Reason.
This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Husier on the Big Talker KQAM.
Ag News, Mid-America Ag Network. I'm Craig Mead. Good morning. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin says the administration is close to, quote, an understanding with Mexico and Canada, end quote, to remove tariffs that have been in place for almost a year and have heavily impacted United States agriculture. Everyone wants the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement to go forward, but part of that hinges on those tariffs. Greg Dowd, chief U.S. agriculture negotiator, explains the connection between the United States tariffs on aluminum and steel and the process of getting USMCA ratified by the legislatures of the United States, Mexico, and Canada.
We do have an issue that we still have to get resolved here at some point in this process with regard to the steel and aluminum 232 tariffs and the relationship we have in steel and aluminum with Canada and Mexico. I can tell you that there is not a day that goes by at USTR that somebody isn't having a conversation with Canada or Mexico to try to figure out how to sort this out. This is an enormous priority for us. This has been challenging and has taken more time than I think we would have liked with regard to the new administration and change in administration in Mexico. And of course, we're now approaching what we here in Washington refer to as the silly season when we have an election coming. That process is evolving now in Canada, which makes it challenging up there as well. But I want you to know that this is something that USTR is working on, and it's really, really important.
That's Chief United States Agricultural Trade Negotiator Greg Dowd. Many lawmakers and even ag groups consider removing those tariffs even more important than the actual trade agreement. Trump's tariffs caused Canada and Mexico to retaliate with tariffs of their own on many U.S. ag products. Ag News, Mid-America Ag Network.
The sound of the bat, the smell of the grass, peanuts and popcorn. Nothing beats a day at the game. 1480 AM, 102.5 FM, KQAM, and Hog Wild Pit Barbecue want to give you that experience with the Kansas City Royals. Stop by one of the 6 Hog Wild Pit Barbecue locations and register for you and a guest to travel to KC and enjoy a game at Kauffman Stadium. Tickets will be given away May 23rd, so stop by a Hog Wild Pit Barbecue and get registered today. A Kansas City Royal getaway from Hog Wild Pit Barbecue and 1480 AM, 102.5 FM, KQAM.
When it comes to service, repair, or installing a new Trane air conditioner or furnace, nobody's better than Moody Heating and Air Conditioning, an independent Trane comfort specialist. So it just makes sense to become a Moody priority customer and enjoy great benefits like 10% off all service repairs, no overtime fees, faster response time, and much more. Becoming a priority customer at Moody Heating and Air Conditioning? Smart. Call 262-7444. That's 262-7444 today.
El Dorado Livestock Auction, 2.5 miles east of El Dorado on Highway 54. Pipe cattle pens with a capacity to hold 5,000 head of cattle. Covered pens to hold 3,500 to 4,000 head. There's a fully modern vet barn and a fully computerized sale program for fast and accurate settlement. The sales ring, comfortable stadium seating in a climate-controlled arena, and new scales. The sale order on sale day, stock cows and bulls, followed by calves, then feeder cattle, then butcher cows and bulls. The goal at El Dorado Livestock Auction is to get the highest possible price for the producer by bringing in the best possible buyers. The auction barn staff provides a friendly, personal relationship with each customer. The staff gets to know the customer and his or her individual needs, and then they meet those needs with an honest, full-value approach that serves both buyer and seller. El Dorado Livestock Auction, a sale every Thursday at 11 a.m. El Dorado Livestock Auction, 2.5 miles east of El Dorado on Highway 54.
Hi ladies, it's Tiffany, talking about my all-time favorite flooring store, Jabbar's Flooring Outlet. You've heard of Jabbar's Flooring for years. They have the largest selection of carpet, tile, wood, and all your favorite floor coverings in the state. What I really like is the gallery and their design team. Refresh your space this spring at Jabbar's. Take it from me, ladies, a real shopper. Someone who loves a great deal and super quality. See Jabbar's for your new floors. Like they say, the smartest shoppers shop Jabbar's.
Travel the world with the Carries. Sundays at 10 on the Big Talker, 1480 AM and 102.5 FM, KQAM.
Whenever you are. Good morning, Wichita. Good morning, Patriots. This is Jim Price sitting in for Andy Hoosier and the Voice of Reason here on KQAM, 1480 AM and 102.5 FM. We do have our YouTube live going, KQAM, or KQAM on the YouTube. You can watch us, see my shiny forehead on the camera. And John's there.
Hello.
Hey, John.
Hey.
So just came. We got some stuff coming out about the whole immigration stuff that's happened this week. We did have the AOC clip, and I wish I would have been able to find that for you, where she talks about going to get her nails done. I mean,
yes, that would be interesting.
She's a clip a week. She really is your at least I guess it's humorous, right? It's almost like almost a Saturday Night Live skit. But she's doing this live. I mean, these are things where she was complaining about how she actually had to work late. Like one of her videos, she's like, I'm just leaving work. I'm like, you're making $180,000 a year, and you're complaining about you left work late? You got free health care.
I thought that was the job.
Yeah.
That's the job?
For $180,000, you need to put the time in, chick. You know, that's what you got elected for. I saw a video yesterday where they actually went down into her district, which I looked at the New York district that she's elected for the House.
All right.
And you know how we have here in the city of Wichita or around the state, like we have 4 House reps.
Yeah.
Right? By population, they split it up.
Right.
It's fairly square. It fairly makes sense that this part. Hers looks like an ink blot that is like this smudge here, smudge here, smudge. It's not like a whole neighborhood. It's like all these little squiggly lines. And I looked. I was like, that's a district. The district actually has a blob. Then it connects. Then there's another blob that's smaller. And then it connects, and then another blob that's smaller. But it's not like a big rectangle. It's not like a big square or anything. But they went through and they were like, "Hey, it was one of the guys was a cook, and he's like, "Hey, how do you feel about giving everybody a living wage and doing all this and that and the other thing?" And he's like, "I want to work hard for what I want. If I work hard and I get more money, then benefits me. If I don't need as much money, I want to work less, then that's my choice. But I don't want to just be giving people money just to sit at home because they don't want to." And the guy actually had a very good point. He was like, "Hey, the harder I work, the better I'm going to be, the better it benefits me. So I want the benefit of that. If I work real hard and the guy next to me is making the same money and he's doing nothing, then what's going to incentivize me to keep going?" And that's the kind of the human nature of why I think capitalism actually works for us. I understand that there's people that they say that it can be left behind or it can affect them this way or that way because of different social economic things. But my thing is that if in America, if you work hard, if you do, you sharpen your skills, you put the time in, you can actually climb up that ladder. I started out as a laborer on a framing crew. I started at the very bottom, picking up blocks of wood, holding the dumb end of the tape. I mean, that was my job, right?
Yep.
Go get that 2x4. Okay, that was my job. But then I worked up to a foreman. I worked up to a superintendent. Worked up to project management. I've actually did 16 years of Department of Defense high security design contracting. I've had some really neat projects I've done. Some really amazing high security stuff that ground penetrating radar. Really, really cool stuff. But I started out as a laborer, and when I was, got out of basic training and I went and got a laborer's job on a framing crew, I don't think I was making much. I think I was making $6 or $7 an hour. And, but that was a little bit above minimum wage, but I started there and I put in the time. So I would work a framing job on one house during the day. This was in Phoenix. So it's not like it's, it's 100 and yuck, whatever, gosh. 100 and some odd million degrees. So I'm sitting there, and I go out and I work my job, and then we'd go work on another house for another 4 hours after that 8-hour job, and then we would go and work on another house on the weekend. So I was working 3 different jobs when I was young, but you know what I did? By working those hours, working that extra hard, that accelerated my learning. Let's say over 3 years, but if I'm working 3 separate jobs, I'm putting like 9 years, 8 years worth of experience into 3 years because I'm putting the time in. So many times we have these kids running around like, I want to be the CEO. Well, what's your experience? I have a blog. Like, that doesn't make you a CEO, man. You've got to put the time in. You put the time in, you put the experience in there, and it will come. But it's not going to come at 22.
No.
You're not these CEOs. How is it they're like, well, that CEO is just an old guy, or that CEO, she's an old lady. Look how old she is. You know how long it takes you to get there? You don't get that job the first day out of Harvard.
No.
Even if you had a Harvard degree, you don't get CEO jobs. You're getting the low-level jobs. You're the analyst. You're this or that, and you've got to work your way up there. You've got to work it out. You've got to spend the time. I don't understand why we had to I just want to own everything. Well, okay, go do it then. Go work it.
Yep.
Work your tail off. Get to where you got to be and do those things. Come up with come up with Facebook. Come up with Twitter. Come up with Uber. Uber is the largest taxi company in the world that doesn't own any cars.
Right.
I mean,
great business going.
And they just they're valued at whatever the stocks went out. Their public offering went out, and they made $8 billion. Their companies. This is a company that literally is just a computer app. It's just a phone app.
Really, that's what it is.
That's all it is, and it was built around that. Now look at, Amazon. He started out selling used books. Now look at him. He's the richest man in the world. He started out selling books online. That's all it was, and now he sells everything online. So I mean, good hard work. You can't replace that. Good hard work, and I tell you right now, these guys running around here getting these $100,000 degrees when a guy can be a machinist for $36, $40 an hour. And he went to some classes at WATC. I don't know who's the dummy here, but if I can go do some VOTEC training and make $40-50 an hour, why would I worry about a 4-year degree in marketing or in accounting and starting out at $30,000? Just the math isn't there for me. We are coming up on our hard break here at the bottom of the hour. We do have Rocklahoma tickets coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, so guys, look out for that. I'm Jim Price. We're sitting in for Andy Hoosier here. The voice of reason, John's going to be on Monday.
We'll be on Monday with news and traffic and weather information, and we're going to have quite a weather weekend, so be weather aware of that.
Yeah, so buy the milk or bread. Is that what you do for tomatoes?
Go get the milk or bread, and make sure you have your water in your basement, too.
Check the sump pumps. Make sure your insurance policies are what they should be. I'm Jim Price. This is the Voice of Reason. We'll be back here in just a few minutes.
Now back to the KQAM News Desk.
President Trump of late is playing down talk of war with Iran.
President Trump is also privately grumbling to outside advisors about his national security advisor, John Bolton. Bolton's hawkish reputation and push for regime change in Iran are concerning U.S. allies.
Joe Johns in Washington. It's May 17th. Today, the deadline set by House Democrats to see President Trump's tax returns.
House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Richard Neal had subpoenaed the IRS and the Treasury Department for 6 years of the president's personal and business tax returns. That deadline is today. Of course, we don't expect them to hand over the president's tax returns anytime soon.
Lauren Fox on Capitol Hill. A federal judge has ordered portions of special counsel Robert Mueller's report to be unredacted and made public in the criminal case against former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Dow futures on Wall Street down 200 points. I'm John Trout.
You might roll into Gordman's looking for a cute new top, but then, bam! You spy some styling new boots at a crazy low price, too. And just like that, shopping game changed. And speaking of game changers, G Rewards is now Style Circle Rewards, which means a $5 reward for every 100 points earned, any way you pay. Plus double points with your store credit card, too, all day, every day. Which means even more ways to save on top trends and stylish home decor. Level up, girl. Bigger deals, smaller prices. Hashtag got it at Gordman's.
Summer's closer than you think. So are Memorial Day savings at the Home Depot, with up to 40% off appliance special buys, like an LG Mega Capacity Top Load Washer and Electric Dryer for just $5.98 each. That'll save loads. But hurry, just like summer, they'll be gone before you know it. Today is the day for doing, with Memorial Day savings now at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. U.S. only while supplies last. Gas Dryer Extra. See store for details. Valid through June 5th.
Kansas Mid-America Network News. Good Friday. An autopsy report says a Topeka motorist who was fatally shot by a Kansas Highway Patrol trooper in November was under the influence of methamphetamine. The Topeka Capital Journal reports that Shawnee County District Coroner Ransom Ellis said the autopsy found methamphetamine, amphetamine, and marijuana in the system of 35-year-old Jermaine Logan. Investigators say the trooper and a Topeka police officer were being dragged through the snow by Logan's vehicle when he was shot. 4 of the state's 6 major public universities seeking undergraduate tuition increases despite a recent increase in state funding for higher education approved by the legislature. The proposed increases were unveiled this week at a Kansas Board of Regents meeting and frustrated some regents who are under pressure to keep tuition flat after lawmakers approved a funding boost of $33 million for higher education next year. The board will vote on the proposals in June. Mid-American Network News.
Warmer weather will remind us that it's getting to be time to start thinking about holiday and summer fun.
Get your truck ready for fun at Continental Truck Accessories.
With lids and toppers from Century and ATC, running boards, bed storage systems, tonneau covers, backup cameras, hitches, and receivers.
We have everything you need, including expert installation to get your truck ready for warmer weather.
Come see us at Continental Truck Accessories
at 6701 South Broadway.
Anyone that owns a boat knows summer goes by way too fast, and all you want to do is spend as much time as possible on the water. Now you can save that precious time on the water by getting a slip from O'Brien's Marina on Cheney Lake. They have brand new slips to rent. They're built with steel and concrete, not lumber, so they can withstand the Kansas weather. Plus, each slip comes with water and electricity, and storage is optional. If you don't have a boat but love to spend time on the lake, O'Brien's Marina has 2 brand new pontoon boats you can rent. O'Brien's Marina on Cheney Lake. 570-4136. 570-4136.
Here's some simple math for you. Chevy cars and trucks just cost less at Countryside Motors in Wellington. You want the best price on a Silverado in Kansas or Oklahoma? Check out Countryside Motors in Wellington. Are you looking for that perfect SUV? They have the great selection of Buick Enclaves, Envisions, and Encores, again, at the best prices anywhere. Countryside Motors in Wellington. Folks, it's simple math. For the best prices on cars and trucks, check out Countryside Motors in Wellington. Online at countrysidemotors.net. Simple math. Best prices. Come on out to the country and save. Countryside Motors in Wellington, Kansas.
Here's your latest forecast on the Big Talker, KQAM, for this morning. Partly sunny and 83. Breezy with wind gusts today and tonight up to 35 miles an hour. 30% chance of showers and storms tonight late, mostly cloudy and 67. 50-50 chance for tomorrow, high around 76. I'm Amp Harrell, and that's your latest forecast on Wichita's big station. The Big Talker, AM 1480 and 102.5 FM, KQAM.
At 7:35, it's currently 67 degrees.
This segment of the Voice of Reason on KQAM brought to you by Riverside Cafe, home of the 3-pound burger and hand-cut fries, plus breakfast all day long. 2 Wichita locations and 824 North Baltimore in Derby. Riverside Cafe.
Good morning, Wichita. Hello, Patriots. This is Jim Price sitting in for Andy Hoosier on the Voice of Reason here. This is the last day. It's going to be on in the morning from 6 to 9. We've got John coming in on Monday.
Yes, we do. I love some ZZ Top.
There you go.
That's
right, ladies. I got my radio voice out there for that. All you ladies out there. We do have the phone lines available, 316-721-8255. You want to comment, ask some questions, stump the radio guy, right? I do have a show, the Jim Price Show, that's on every Saturday. It's going to be on from 2 to 4:30 tomorrow because NASCAR.
Turning left.
They're going to be in Charlottesville tomorrow, so we're going to be they'll be on at 4:30. Right up, I'm going to bump right up against it. So here's an article that came out. This whole thing with the Russian investigation of collusion and delusion and whatever you want to put on it. And by the way, John, before 2 years ago, have you ever heard of the word dossier? Had you ever used the
only
word?
in the movies?
Had you
I've
really?
never used it. Yeah, in the movies.
The word dossier, I'm so tired of it. Like, I'm already done with the whole word dossier or the word collusion or, come on. So anyway, it just, you talk about beating a dead horse. We got to get past it. So what's happening now, though, is the headline comes out. This was written yesterday. That there's a little bit of finger pointing going on. A launch of a formal inquiry into the origins of the Russian investigation, being led by one of the Justice Department's toughest prosecutors, has touched off a new round of behind-the-scenes finger pointing. So it looks like the FBI director, Comey, is now saying, hey, John Brennan, it was you. So now Comey, who's gone around and done all these interviews and talked about, well, I just don't know what they're talking about. I just don't know. And then all of a sudden he's like, hey, by the way, that was John. Now, wait, I thought you didn't know anything. I thought you weren't but why are you worried about throwing shade on John if you didn't know anything about it? So now John Brennan insists that, insisting on including the dossier in his, Brennan says, no, Comey wanted to use the dossier. So now Brennan is pushing back and saying, well, no, Comey wanted to use it. But then Comey's been running around telling a few other these night talk show hosts, I had no idea. Oh, I'm just so surprised. I'm so flabbergasted. Why would that ever happen in the FBI? But now we got these two guys, and I think Obama said, hey, guys, let's not do the circular fire thing. And I think that's kind of what these two guys just did. It's they just shot each other. You're like, oh no, it was Comey. Oh, wait, no, it was Brennan. And so I think what's going to happen is the infighting will be something. I think that's going to also be kind of like what the Democrat nomination is going to look like.
Yeah.
So if you got 25 people that are all doing this and they're all scratching for their 1%, I mean, have you seen the polls where it's got like Biden, Bernie, and then Elizabeth Warren, and then it's like 1%.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of 1%ers, and if they're going to claw back for their portion of fame or fortune or trying to get to it, they're going to have to push pretty hard, don't you think?
I do think so, and they're going to have to do more building, especially in the area of trust, what I'm saying, not so much what we're doing, because we haven't seen them do much of anything except run up red flags and on issues that, do we really care about them?
Well, okay, so now Elizabeth Warren is running third, right?
Okay.
But remember, She got into Harvard and was recognized with an award. Now, this is the part where I really don't understand. She was recognized for an award for being Native American, and then she goes and gets on live Instagram or YouTube or whatever and reveals her DNA live and find out that she has 1/1000th of Native American in her, which is, I'm going to go with John, that's not much.
1/1, yeah, that's pretty small.
1/1000th. That's smaller than a hair, right?
Yeah.
But that she's going to want to be president, though. We want her to go in, run the country, and she's saying, by the way, I wrote down on my entrance paperwork that I'm a Native American, and I just don't understand why it is that we have these people who go around and it's like own it, right?
Be who you are.
It's like I got to applaud Trump for being who he is. He's
done that.
He's unapologetic.
He is that.
He's just like, hey, this is who I am. Like me or leave me. But but I think that's kind of what America is, though, right? As Americans, we believe in the fact that we like authentic. We like to eat our cheeseburgers or our bacon cheeseburgers.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, bacon cheeseburger.
Here we go with that one.
So, we have these people who we like because they are authentic. We like it because they are just themselves. I mean, it's amazing. Look at the those guys down in Louisiana. They had that the TV show. They're always duck hunting. I know it's. Anyway, so Phil does his weekly show, and he's very authentic. He's like, hey, I believe in guns, I believe in God, and I believe in my wife. That's it. And he that's how he is. And we love the guy. He's got a big old hairy beard and crooked toes, and he don't care. And he's just got his Bible and his gun right there with him all the time. We like that. Duck Dynasty. That's right. Very good. I had ask a question here. We had the 6 state universities have asked for a 4 to 6% increase in tuition, even though we just gave them another additional $33 million. So now they're going to go ahead and take the state's money for another $33 million, and then they're going to go ahead and saddle the students with more tuition hikes. When does it stop? When does the spending stop? When do we quit just throwing more and more money at things? When do they become fiscally responsible, or what? I don't know. Anyway, it just drives me crazy. We have a caller.
We do have a caller.
All right. Okay. Bring him on.
Here we go.
Caller, this is Jim Price. What's your name?
Hey, this is Joe.
Hey, Joe. How's it going this morning?
I'm blessed, brother. Hey, just real quick, but you're talking about honesty and everything.
Yeah.
Imagine what the country would have been run like if Ross Perot would have won.
That is one for the ages. I honestly, Ross Perot, he was the guy who said that we should have, and correct me if I'm wrong here, he was the one that wanted the sales tax only, right? There was no personal property tax, no income tax. It was going to be the sales tax only, right?
I think so. I don't remember that. I just remember that he was, you could not have made a second Trump like he was. He had the same motivation, the same thing about being pro-American.
Yep.
I'm just saying, if we'd have put Ross Perot in place, what would have changed?
Right. Well, and that's, again, look at the idea what Ross Perot was about, and it's kind of the same things I talk about on my show: individual liberties, individual freedoms.
Exactly.
Let me have my money. And see, we all forget as Americans we get to vote with our money. How is it that Starbucks is what they are? It's because people walk in there and give them $5, $6 for a cup of coffee. We vote with our money. We're not. That's just how we do it. So if you say it's on sales tax, so instead of there being these loopholes for millionaires, billionaires, the big spenders, right? Everybody gets taxed the same across the board, right?
Exactly.
That's where fairness comes in. That's what we always talk about. We want to be fair, right? When we want a fair American, we all want the same chance to succeed or fail. And what would Perot have been able to do? Now, I think his message with his voice kind of got lost in the way he was presenting. If we could have put him in a different body, I think between him being short and then that voice, was that pretty good, Perot?
That's pretty close.
That's pretty close. I've been working on it all. Anyway, I can't do it now. I'm laughing. But imagine what we could have done. Now, here's a question for you. You said what would have been like under Ross Perot. What would we have had if we wouldn't have had this collusion delusion for 2 years with Trump. What could we have done if we hadn't had that saddle?
We would be further than where we are today, and that's the real shame, and that's the real crime of Trump being in office for 2 years and not getting the same respect that Obama got, and he got zero pushback on anything.
Right.
Hardly anything.
He did have the birther stuff. I mean, he did have that, but it wasn't like a federal investigation. There was a segment of people that said, hey, we want to see your birth certificate. We want to see your birth certificate. But it wasn't that the people were in there just saying, hey, well, no matter what you say, we don't like it. They weren't just truly pushing back on him. Here's a from CNBC. The stock market value under Trump has grown from $6.9 trillion to $30.6 trillion. Now, think about what he's been able to do, even though he's quote unquote mistrusted because he was supposedly in bed with Putin, but which is completely we've all figured out that that's a hoax, right? But you think about that, 6.9 to $30.6 trillion, that's a 3-time step. I mean, that's pretty amazing. What would he have done
4.
unfettered? Unfettered, what could that have been? But we have the highest participation by percentages than we've ever had in the history of the United States, in the world, actually. They're saying now that we are hitting record numbers of employment, that people are just back at work. If you look at the city of Wichita, think about what it looks like from 3 o'clock to about 6 o'clock nowadays. In the last 2 years, it's busy. You're sitting at a light, sometimes 1 and 2 lights. There's 20 cars at the stoplight. 2-3 years ago, we weren't having that. People are just back at work. And if you want to look at something, I know we're getting ready to go up against a commercial break here.
Yeah, hard break. Yeah.
Go on the U.S. U.S. government website. You can actually see the oil productions. And if you want to see where our market is at, you want to see how the money's flowing, people are driving more now than they ever have. And that means they're going to work. That means they're spending money. But you can see the trends from 2000, way back, in the, as far back as they were recording. But look at 2010, look at 2011, look at 2015, and you can actually see the market increase of how all of a sudden in 2016 into 17 there was a huge jump in oil production in the United States because people are back at work. I mean, people are spending money on gas. That means they're going to work. They are doing their thing. I do appreciate you calling in. I didn't mean to talk over the top of you on that.
That's all right. That's all right. Have a great and blessed day, brother.
You too. Thank you very much, sir. I'm Jim Price, is the voice of reason. I got John here with me, and we're getting ready to go into commercial break.
The voice of reason with Andy Hoosier.
Market information, Mid-America Ag Network. Well, live cattle futures ended Thursday's session with most contracts 80 cents to $1.45 higher. Feeder cattle futures were off of their lows on the day to post 87.5 cents to a $1.30 gains. Nearby May was down $1.70. The feeder cattle index down $1.75 at 133.06. May 15th, wholesale box beef prices were a bit lower Thursday afternoon. Choice boxes were down a penny at 219.56. Select boxes 16 cents lower at 207.88. Estimated federally inspected cattle slaughter through the week 484,000 head. That's up 3,000 head from last week, 5,000 head above last year. Lean hog futures mixed Thursday. Front months were lower. The deferred contracts were a bit higher. The lean hog index up 41 cents from the previous day, 83.68 May 14th. USDA pork carcass cutout value 68 cents lower at 86.13 Thursday afternoon. The national base hog carcass price 55 cents lower Thursday with a weighted average of 81.26. 1.845 million head is the estimated slaughter through Thursday, 48,000 head below last week. Refocusing now, corn, soybeans, wheat. Corn futures are trading 3 to 4 cents higher this morning after they continue to trade wet weather forecasts. Soybeans are mostly 3 to 4 cents lower, anticipating more acreage if corn is delayed, which it has been. And wheat futures are 3 to 5 cents higher this morning in Chicago and in Kansas City, and up as much as 11 cents in Minneapolis. Right now, taking a look at where we are, July corn is up 4.5 at 383.5. September corn is up 4 at 391. Soybeans, as we pointed out, struggling just a bit. July beans down 3 3/4 at 836.25. August down 3 3/4 at 842 3/4. Soybean meal and soybean oil are tracking lower as well. July Kansas City wheat up 4.5 at 421.25. September KC wheat up 4 at 431 3/4. Markets, Mid-America Ag Network.
host, Mark Walters. Join me for Armed American Radio every weeknight at 8 for your hour of daily defense. We talk everything guns, Second Amendment, helping protect your right to own and carry a firearm, and more. Also, make sure to catch Armed American Radio live every Sunday evening, 7 to 10. It's what you need to know to protect your right to defend yourself. It's Armed American Radio, and it's right here on the Big Talker, 1480 AM and 1025 FM, KQAM.
Armed American Radio on the Big Talker, KQAM.
It's time for a mulch alert. It's time to check in for the latest from Pride Ag Ace Hardware of Mays.
Time to lay down some fresh mulch for spring, so stock up at Pride Ag Ace Hardware, where grade A cedar mulch is everyday low priced at just $6.49 a bag. Pride Ag Ace Hardware, 5204 North Mays Road. Remember, if you're not at Ace, you're at the wrong place.
Pride Ag Ace Hardware of Mays, online at prideagace.com or visit them at 5204 North Mays Road in Mays. The mulch alert is happening now.
When it comes to cleaning homes, dust, grime, and soap scum don't stand a chance when a team of highly trained dirt assassins from the Maids hit the scene. Ruthlessly efficient. Trained in a 22-step process perfected through years of practice by the Maids. These masters of messes have only one motto: we fight dirty. Call now for a free estimate and schedule every other week service. Call the Maids, 316-832-9058, or visit maids.com.
Hi again, everybody. Tony White, Augusta Flight Center. Want to talk about our flight training packages. Private pilot packages starting at just $5,900. Now that'll get you 47 and a half hours in the aircraft, 2.5 hours on our flight training device, 45 hours of instruction, also a free headset and a free home study kit. For more information on this and other flight training options, visit our website at iflyaugusta.com, our Facebook page, or you can call us at 316-733-4080.
Jesse Soria of Cholitas Mexican Restaurant at Central and Tyler talks a little bit about success.
Each and every one of our customers that come in, we want them to come back. We want them to enjoy their meal. We want them to be happy. If for some reason we send you some food and let's say it doesn't taste right, let us know. I'm going to bend over backwards to take care of you. Our goal 30 years ago was to please every customer, and that is still our goal today.
Cholitas Mexican Restaurant, Central and Tyler.
Hi, everybody. This is Brian Kilmeade. Join me live weekdays at 8 a.m. right here on the Big Talker, 1480 a.m. and 102.5 FM, KQAM.
Good morning, Wichita. Hello, Patriots. This is Jim Price. You're listening to the Voice of Reason. Friday, May 17th, 2000. Golly, we're in 2019
already, and people talking about 2020 like it's going to be tomorrow. But
we're halfway through. I mean, well, I know
just
it's
about
fifth month. I mean,
yeah, just about halfway.
We got
through.
about 2 more weeks. So we're halfway through this year. It is my birthday. I usually don't talk about my birthday very much, but we're going to try something different this year. We're going to talk about it. I am 24 times 2. All you Common Core math people out there, go ahead and get your 4 square box out and do that math, because that's efficient. Man, I tell you what, that I have talked to more people about that, and I understand it's supposed to be another way of solving a problem on Common Core math, but no. I'm really good at math. I mean, I really am, and I know what 24 times 2 is. Anyway. It's the idea that they say, well, it's a way of problem solving. It's a way of giving them a different, view or whatever. But we do have a pretty good system of math, and math is math. And I tell you, to sit there and go back and try to reinvent it, I think it's dumbing us down. I don't think it's actually giving us the benefit that we're hoping for. We do have a caller on the line. Go ahead, caller. Are you there?
Hi, this is Helen.
Hey, Helen. How are you doing today?
I'm doing just great. Are you the birthday boy today?
Yeah, that's me. I got the big dunce hat. Hey, how come birthday hats are shaped like dunce caps? What's are we trying to tell something to somebody there?
Maybe there's a subliminal message there. Who knows?
Yeah, underlining message there. So yeah, it's my birthday. Get to nice. So go ahead. You had a comment?
Well, I was wanting to try to understand what Scott was talking about earlier. He's saying something about the criminal income or economics supports Legal economics?
the very first comment was basically he had about 5 subjects smeared into one sentence, and what he was talking about was basically that we've incentivized making sure everybody's a criminal by creating a prison system. That they have statistically proven that between 70 and 80% are quote unquote non-victim crimes, meaning that there was not another person involved in the crime. That these are like ordinance and laws that they've broke, like suspended licenses. Third suspended license is a year in jail. So we have people spending a year in jail for third suspended license ticket. Now, I know there's people out there who habitually abuse that law, but to spend a year in prison at $30,000 to $40,000, they're taking that money out of the economy instead of putting money back in. So
yeah.
I think that's kind of the smear there.
He's not advocating just doing away with all laws and letting people do whatever they want.
No, it's basically dialing it back. Let's put some common sense into it. It's the idea that, like I said earlier, let's find a church or charity or a social program that we can get these people in to help them get back to life. Give them some mentoring. I mean, how many people do you know? I mean, think about your life or the people you've run into that could use a mentor. Someone to say, hey, stop being that way, or hey, let's do this. Let's change your behaviors or change your attitude or change who you hang out with to give you a better decision-making process. I mean, you probably have people in your life that's that way, right?
Oh, sure. Throughout my long life.
Oh, you sound pretty young. You got to be at least in your 20s. Now, come on now.
Oh, no. I'm in my 60s.
Okay. So, but we have people around us that we could help, right? We could go and, we make ourselves better every day. And then we have that one person that's within an arm's reach of us, our neighbor, a nephew, a niece, somebody that we could reach out to and say, hey, you know what? Instead of letting that person just go on the path they're on, hey, let's go to lunch. Hey, let's take that person on vacation with us to show them what vacations are like or what a better life is like instead of that same path that they're on and going back to the same friends. How easy could we reach out or reach to somebody and put them on a better path? Churches and charities do an amazing, amazing jobs for people. I don't think governments do that good a job at it. Look at the welfare system. We talk about the millions and billions of dollars we've thrown at that, and it's still not getting any better. But yet you hear these success.
Look at everything government does.
Right.
It really messes things up.
Well, how amazing.
$22 trillion in debt.
Yeah, or $22 trillion in debt, but we're not talking about freezing spending. We're not talking about slowing down spending.
Oh, no.
But here's the thing. How excited would you be if you had somebody who honestly said, I am going to give you more freedoms, more liberties, and I'm going to stop spending your money? How could you get behind a candidate that says those things?
Well, it seems like they have been saying things like that for years, but they don't ever actually do it when they get it
There
wrong.
you go. Bing, ding, 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 ding. What does she win? She wins another politician that says something and then does nothing, right? You look at Pelosi; she's worth $200 million, sitting there telling us how we need to, reach out and do more for people. Well, why don't you start draining your bank account? Why don't you start scholarshiping some kids? Why don't you start?
That's what you preach.
Yeah. Instead of having an app for your city where all the poop is, why don't you figure out how to take care of yourself? There's an app in San Francisco that tells you where the piles of poop are and to avoid that. So
and syringes and things like that laying around.
Yeah. And then she wants to talk to us about how, we need to do more for the a little bit of cuckoo going on there. Exactly. So I do appreciate your phone call this morning and the clarification on what he was going at. But basically, it's the idea that we got to quit victimizing each other. We got to quit throwing each other in jail. We got to quit saying that everybody's a criminal. The definition of a criminal is someone who's broke a law or an ordinance. And now we've all had speeding tickets, so we're all criminals. So that word criminal has been washed down, bleached down to where it really doesn't mean anything anymore. It's just a catchphrase.
Well, now, also, don't legislators go to...
I'm sorry, we're up against a hard break on the network on that. We'll have to get back with you. I'm Jim Price. This is the Voice of Reason, and we'll be right back.
Here's some simple math for you. Chevy cars and trucks just cost less at Countryside Motors in Wellington. You want the best price on a Silverado in Kansas or Oklahoma? Check out Countryside Motors in Wellington. Are you looking for that perfect SUV? They have the great selection of Buick Enclaves, Envisions, and Encores, again, at the best prices anywhere. Countryside Motors in Wellington. Folks, it's simple math. For the best prices on cars and trucks, check out Countryside Motors in Wellington. Online at countrysidemotors.net. Simple math. Best prices. Come on out to the country and save. Countryside Motors in Wellington, Kansas.
You're sitting having your morning coffee looking out at what used to be a real nice deck. So what to do? Tens of thousands of dollars to replace it?
I'm Bob Tracy with Wood Savers. We've been helping people in Wichita and South Central Kansas for 3 decades. When it comes to your deck, fence, or cedar site at home, we're the cost-effective answer to replacement. We do all repairs, along with cleaning, sealing, and staining the wood.
For a free estimate, call Wood Savers at 316-831-9300 or learn more online at woodsaversinc.com.
This is a Steckline Communication Station, K273CX, FM 102.5, and AM 1480 KQAM, Wichita Proud. It's time for your latest news from the KQAM News Center. Brought to you by Phil's Coins, Kansas's largest coin dealer at 9344 West Central. Phil's Coins, buying, selling, and trading with honesty and integrity.
Good Friday morning. A children's psychiatric hospital known in Kansas will open a new facility in Wichita this July. By the end of the summer, KTV reports KVC hospitals will have locations in Wichita, Hayes, and Kansas City. KVC's hospital is a nonprofit organization that helps children struggling with depression, anxiety, trauma, and other mental health crises. Wichita police investigating after a 91-year-old woman reported being raped at an assisted living facility on the city's west side. Police called out around 10:30 Wednesday night to the Sandpiper Bay Healthcare and Rehabilitation Center north of Central and I-235. Police would only confirm that the woman told them she was sexually assaulted and that she was taken to a hospital. No arrests have yet been announced. 2 people have been charged in the stabbing death of a man whose body was found in an RV in South Wichita on Monday. The suspects, 25-year-old Royce Thomas and 24-year-old Michaela Spencer, made their first court appearances yesterday and were each charged with first-degree murder and 2 counts of theft. Friends say they last saw 50-year-old William Callison on Sunday evening. Monday morning, his RV was gone, and friends say they saw someone else driving Callison's truck away. Those same friends immediately knew something was wrong and called 911. The owner of a highly anticipated water park in South Wichita says it's scheduled to open to the public on Memorial Day weekend. KTV reports Splash Aqua Park Incorporated owner Carl Kalkbrenner said this week that the park is set to open at 10 o'clock on Saturday, May 25th. He said the park is still waiting on some permits and employees are continuing to work to get the park ready. One commute note, Ridge Road near 93rd Street North closed for repairs over the next few days, weather permitting. The culvert near the intersection of Ridge and 93rd washed out and needs to be replaced to avoid any further road collapse. I'm Rick Everett. Now sports.
High school regional softball and baseball wrapped up last night. Here are the teams from our area that will be heading to the state tournaments next week. In baseball, in 6A, Campus and Derby. In 5A, it's Bishop Carroll, Great Bend, Salina South, and Arc City. And in 4A, Wichita Trinity, Nickerson, Buhler, and Mulvane. On the girls' side in softball, in 6A, it's the Derby Panthers. In 5A, Bishop Carroll, Northwest, Goddard, and May South. And in 4A, Andale, Garden Plain, Augusta, and Rose Hill. The Shockers open the final series of the regular season. They beat Southern Florida last night, 7-6. Game 2 tonight. From the KGSO Sports Desk, I'm Doug Downs.
Ah, yes, the sound of hail on your vehicle. Never a good thing. Norris Collision Center of Goddard has you covered, though, with conventional body and paint repairs as well as paintless dent repair. And Norris Collision Center of Goddard works with all insurance companies. Remember, you have the right to choose where you have your vehicle repaired. Come see your local body shop in Goddard with the home of the limited lifetime warranty. Norris Collision Center of Goddard. Big city quality, small town service.
Hi, this is Phil Martinez at Phil's Coins. At the shop, we talk all the time about honesty and integrity. And in our shop, we've decided that honesty means nothing without integrity. So what I would tell you is that if you didn't bring your coins to Phil's Coins, honestly, you didn't get enough money for what you have. Come see us at Phil's Coins, 9344 West Central, or online at philscoins.com.
Autocraft is proud to call Wichita home for 40 years. We are local and family-owned. We believe using locally owned businesses is important to maintaining a healthy community. Local faces being there for you long after the job is done. Autocraft uses local suppliers whenever possible. Eco-friendly products, giving back to local charities, putting that extra smile on someone's face. Autocraft invites you to join us to keep it local. So let's work together to grow a strong and healthy community. Be sure to visit us at autocraftinc.com.
KQAM.com.
Here's the latest from the KQAM News Center. President Trump of late is playing down talk of war with Iran.
President Trump is also privately grumbling to outside advisors about his national security advisor, John Bolton. Bolton's hawkish reputation and push for regime change in Iran are concerning U.S. allies.
Joe Johns in Washington. It's May 17th. Today, the deadline set by House Democrats to see President Trump's tax returns.
House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Richard Neal had subpoenaed the IRS and the Treasury Department for 6 years of the president's personal and business tax returns. That deadline is today. Of course, we don't expect them to hand over the president's tax returns anytime soon.
Lauren Fox on Capitol Hill. A federal judge has ordered portions of special counsel Robert Mueller's report to be unredacted and made public in the criminal case against former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Dow futures on Wall Street down 200 points. I'm John Trout.
Your local weather on KQAM, brought to you by Jewelry Savers. Conveniently located off K96 on Greenwich Road. The Kansas trusted jewelry source since 1971. Jewelry Savers.
Here's your latest forecast on the Big Talker, KQAM, for this morning. Partly sunny and 83. Breezy with wind gusts today and tonight up to 35 miles an hour. 30% chance of showers and storms tonight late, mostly cloudy and 67. 50-50 chance for tomorrow, high around 76. I'm Amp Harrell, and that's your latest forecast on Wichita's big station. The Big Talker, AM 1480 and 102.5 FM, KQAM.
At 8:06, it's currently 67 degrees.
Hey, this is Kevin Carr. Join me for Fat Guys at the Movies every Saturday right here on the Big Talker, KQAM.
It's time for Reason.
They wanted to stand strong, but these are the same ones that when we say, hey, you run in as a Republican, can you support Republican values, please? A Republican value for 800, please. And then they end up not doing that because we kind of know where they stand on issues. So now they tried to be bold, and it was really cute watching them be bold, and they ended up caving after a couple hours. And therefore now Medicaid officially has been done, is dead for this year, and will not come back this year.
This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hoosier.
All right, this is Jim Price on the Voice of Reason, sitting for Andy Hoosier. He is he's on gun assignment in Pittsburgh, PA. He's hanging out, talking, finding out more things about gun rights and those kind of things. They got a conference going on out there. He'll be back Tuesday midday from 11 to 2. John, you'll be on Monday morning?
It will be on Monday morning, and we're settling in here, running the show here for Andy this week, and then starting Monday morning at 6 a.m., running the news show, which will go for 6 hours. And we'll have a mix of local, state, national news, and we'll also have updates on traffic and weather, as what you're getting now. And we may sprinkle in maybe entertainment news or something like that.
Right.
But basically, it'll be a heavy emphasis on local.
You know, you said entertainment news, and probably it's so bad. The first thing that shot in my head was you're going to just talk about AOC. It's like, that's entertaining news right there. That's
okay.
That's news that's entertaining. She keeps you entertained. I'm
sure we'll have a story or two about her too. So.
She's got that. I just understand. I understand that she's had led a different life for those kind of things. But when you live feed what a garbage disposal is, which I understand those are outlawed in the city of New York, but you live feed, what is this? Is this environmentally sound? I can't do her voice. I did Perot better.
Perot was nice.
Yeah, that was a good voice, but I can't do hers. It's so high pitch it probably break me. But she really comes up with some doozies. The mustache one, that she's proud of her mustache. I work so hard for $180,000 a year. Well, wait, you better. If we're paying you $180,000, woman, you better, hey, get going. Hey, go. Don't complain about the hours. You know, you're making more money now than you've ever made in your life. And yet, then she's like, oh, I guess I'm just now leaving work. That's your job, right? I mean, I understand bartenders work that late shift or midday shift or whatever, but Hey, if you're going to be a house rep for $180,000, I don't think bartenders make $180,000 a year, do they?
No, I have a good friend of mine who's a barista. No, nowhere close.
No, not making 180. So, hey, maybe you're going to have to put in a few extra hours. You're just going to have to put the time in. I can't believe it's. I love the surprise on her face. I'm just now leaving. And then what was the other one? Oh, the garden. Well, these things just grow right out of dirt. She was talking about her rooftop garden she's got, and she's like, well, this just grows. This is amazing. And she was just all thrilled about it. And I'm like, well, people here in Wichita, we accidentally we just accidentally grow trees.
Yeah, accidentally. Yeah.
Like, there's trees that
gosh.
I mean, it's like, how long has this tree been here? I don't know. I didn't even realize it was there. Like, so we have trees just right. But anyway, she's thrilled that she has those things. Wildwood Cellars. It's more than buying a bottle of wine. Learn tips from about finding the wine you like, not the wine you're supposed to like. They're nationally acclaimed vineyard here in Kansas. They're just off the turnpike down there in Mulvane, and they're also up here in Wichita at Maple and Ridge. Now, they do some sampling. They've got the elderberry concentrates there for inflammation, allergies, and those kind of things. WildwoodCellars.com, that's their website. Look them up. But great people. And you said that they did they do the whole
they do the dinner and
dinner theater
thing, dinner theater. It was kind of interesting.
I think that's usually around the holidays, but they are quite a little. Those are usually entertaining. I've been to a few, but not to the ones there.
Right.
I did one at the salt mines a couple years ago.
I've never been to the salt mines. Pass by it all the time. Been wanting to go.
It's, you know what, you don't really notice that you're like, you get in this big elevator. When I say elevator, it's like the size of a room. It's a big elevator. It's a big service elevator. You go down, and you got to kind of forget that you're, I guess, what is it? How many feet under a mile or
about something like that? It's really cool.
Yeah, and it's just it's very nice. You get down there, it's like, oh, this is kind of neat. But you got to kind of get away from the idea that there's an aquifer above your head.
Oh,
and that you got to kind of get away from the idea that there's only one way out. And you got to, but the rooms are very tall. I mean, we're talking.
So you don't feel like you're in a coffin or anything.
No, it's not 6 foot tall where you feel like you're scraping your ceiling. It's like I think it's like 12 feet inside there. So it does feel comfortable. They do have some different things. It is neat. It is very fascinating. I took the pictures of some of the Batman costumes they had in there and some different artifacts and some stuff from movies and things that they have down there, because it keeps it the right. They have the biggest thing that they do there is store old documents.
Right, and the older movies.
Right. So they keep it at the right temperature, right humidity. The salt mines are perfect for that. The idea that you get down there and they kind of show you some of the displays. It's kind of neat to see those things. They did have a dinner theater for you and stuff on that. I thought it was neat. It was worth the trip. I enjoyed it. So
my bucket list, one of my things to do.
Yeah, it's worth it. I have a question for you. When you saw Trump on The Apprentice, right? He was on the TV, did The Apprentice for 12 years, I think it was.
Yes, I did tune in and out of that.
Yeah, you kind of watched it here and there when one person was interesting or not, and they were competing against each other.
Is that Omarosa? That was the one I was watching.
I don't know. She's like that stir stick that I think she's the good antagonist, right? Every story is supposed to have the antagonist and the hero and the victim and blah, blah, blah. And there's a whole balance of how you're supposed to write certain stories or things, and she was good antagonist. One of the things I was, did you hate Trump? When he was on The Apprentice, when he's doing it?
I didn't hate him. Trying to understand him. You hear about his business practices and everything. Says, well, who is this guy? And then it was television. They're not going to really go into all of that. But
but you have all these people that went around and
there's more curiosity.
Hillary Clinton was a friend of his. They went to Chelsea's wedding and all these different things. And he was in with the stars of the stars, right?
I paid more attention to him when he was on the USFL.
Right.
I paid more attention when he was running the generals.
Right. So, here it is. You have, he's doing all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So he's just a regular guy. But all of a sudden, he's running for president, and now people literally hate him. Not dislike him, but they physically have a problem with him. Like, I hate that man. So, wait. He runs for president. He gets out, he's 70-some years old, goes out and runs for president. He wins. And all of a sudden, I hate him. I just hate that guy. Now, why didn't you hate him a minute ago?
Because at that time, he was entertaining. He wasn't going to have his finger on the nuclear button.
I got my big red button works.
Exactly.
Hey, we got Kim to the negotiating table, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
We haven't had that in 50 years, so I think maybe that maybe put saying, hey, I got a button that works. is what we need to do to motivate. I do understand that we've got people in in the Persian Gulf that we've moved there because Iran is pushing some rhetoric. And I don't like the fact that how all of a sudden they have some victimhood going on over there. Like, oh, Mr. U.S., why are you putting big boats off of our borders over here? We're not doing anything. We're cool. We're cool with you. We're cool with me. I mean, we're good. But wait, why would we send an aircraft carrier through that canal, the Suez Canal?
Yeah.
Why would we send a big boat down there, do all those things? Do you think that we just do that wildly just because we feel like it? Iran, I think, was doing some dirty things, and which they've been doing dirty things for since forever. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, why are you guys picking on us? We're just kidding, bro. And I just don't like how when you have somebody who's doing something and then they push back. I just don't understand that. We do have a caller coming in, and I guess hopefully they have a question or a comment that we can go with. Go ahead. Caller, are you there? Oh, sorry. Caller, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Your name?
It's Wallace.
Hey, Wallace, how are you doing this morning?
Hey, doing well.
Good.
Hey, you brought up the name Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah.
That gal drives me just crazy. I mean,
she's like a 12-year-old, right? Trying to tell you what to do.
Yeah, I mean, last week she was making fuzzy navels and slippery nipples, and now she's going to control the economy for 320 million people.
Right.
I don't get it. But
she wants to spend $100 trillion of your dollars. You cool with that, bro?
Yeah, as long as it's someone else's $100 trillion. But here's what just kills me. She was lecturing a few days ago some college kids on climate change, and she starts talking about the CO2 levels. Well, the consensus of scientists is that the CO2 levels now are the same as the Pliocene era, which was 2.5 to 5 million years ago.
Right.
And so I got to thinking. And then she also made the comment that back then ocean levels were 90 feet higher, and so she's trying to say is, well, we're all gonna drown. And I'm like, well, wait, if we're at the same level, how come our oceans aren't 90 feet higher now? And two,
who was the first AOC though? Who was it that was the first AOC?
Al Gore.
Yeah. But he was saying this stuff 30 years ago that New York would be under 3 or 4 feet of water by the year 2000.
Well, yeah.
Have you seen the evacuations happening yet for New York?
Well, yeah, they're all going to Florida. They're called snowbirds.
Well, because the taxes are too high.
Yeah, I would say they're drowning in taxes. It's not water. But,
right.
Yeah, the funny thing is okay, so the oceans aren't 90 feet higher like they were.
Right.
But here's the other thing. What she admitted is that long before man was here, carbon was high, and then it went down low, and now it's going up high, all without SUVs and super highways and air conditioning. There's
a volcano in the Philippines down the Pacific Rim that literally it's part of NASA's research that literally every day it puts in more carbon and more pollutants into the atmosphere than the entire globe. One volcano, and it's doing it daily. It's a continuous erupting system of it's going on and on and on. Hey, I hate to cut you off. We do have to come up on a commercial break here. I completely agree with what you're saying. The lunacy is way
I'll
out
end with
there.
this.
Go ahead.
I just want to say consensus. She says the consensus of scientists. Consensus isn't science. Consensus isn't fact. The consensus of scientists a long time ago is the Earth was flat, and if you sail too far, you'd fall off.
Exactly.
So I don't listen to consensus.
Well, but remember, they're getting paid by government grants, so they want to make sure they keep getting those grants. So follow the money, right?
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, sir.
Appreciate it.
You bet. This is Jim Price and the Voice of Reason. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Hey, you. Thanks for checking out my video. I do appreciate the time you take out of your life to go on YouTube.
The Voice of Reason with Andy Hoosier.
I'll see you later.
Yesterday, I told you about the horror of a 16-year-old girl asking her Instagram friends if she should kill herself. They voted yes, and she did. Even one of Instagram's most popular influencers now says that social media has been a disaster for her and all millennials. I'm Kim Commando with your Friday Consumer Tech Update brought to you by ExpressVPN. Protect your online activity from hackers today and get 3 months free at expressvpn.com/Kim. 26-year-old Selena Gomez was supposed to be talking up her new film, The Dead Don't Die, with the world's top entertainment reporters. Instead, she used her time to say that Instagram and all social media has proven to be a disaster for millennials, and its effect is frightening. It leads to overspending, debt, depression, and suicide. Gomez is Instagram's third most popular personality, with 150 million followers. Her best advice? The same as mine. Take long breaks from social media for your own good. I'm Kim Commando.
Message and data rates may apply.
If you're considering going back to school, ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of these questions, Arizona State University is the perfect school for you. Arizona State University offers over 150 highly ranked degree programs 100% online. You'll learn the same degree as you would on campus from wherever you are on your schedule. Plus, ASU Online accepts most transfer credits. For information, text TECH to 35517. Learn for yourself why the Wall Street Journal ranks ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates and why 87% of ASU grads are recruited within 90 days of graduation. Learn to grow, learn to succeed, and learn to thrive at Arizona State University. To learn more about ASU Online degrees, text TECH to 35517. That's TECH to 35517.
For over 60 years, Rustiak Ford has been honored and proud to serve the state of Kansas. We always put our community first and our customers first. We help our community with our well-known Adopt a School program, the Veterans Village, the Susan Komen Cancer Run, holiday donation drives for families, events for WSU and Newman Universities, and many other worthwhile causes. And we help families find the car or truck they want at a price they need. And in addition to that low price, we throw in zero down with your good credit, interest rates as low as 0%, top dollar for your trade, and 2 years of Ford recommended maintenance on your new ride. At Rustiak Ford, we make the entire ownership experience fast, easy, and transparent. Come see us at Town East and Kellogg in Wichita or visit rustiakford.com. We always put our community first and our customers first. Rustiak Ford in Wichita, Town East at Kellogg.
The Miller Minute with Dennis Miller.
I want to talk about all the different ways you can identify yourself sexually on an application now. You know what? Just let me give you an overview on this. I'm not going to play. I saw an article recently where somebody said that they were sexually identifying as a seahorse because I don't even know the reason. I went to read the article and it broke my heart for mankind. Something about a seahorse woman can have no babies, a seahorse man can have babies. And I thought, you know what? They're just jerking my chain out there at this point. I'm supposed to go along. I'm supposed to either get upset or I'm supposed to nod my head like some goofus and say, yeah, you're a seahorse. Listen, I meet a lot of people. There are men and there are women. If somebody is confused inside, I'm happy when they go over to the other side. That's their business. I want them to lead a fulfilling life. But don't ask me to call you a seahorse. Not gonna do it. And that's the minute. I'm Dennis Miller.
It's happening to you every night. One snores and the other can't sleep. It seems like there's no end to it. But now, there is a quick and easy-to-use solution, a natural solution, Snore Stop. Snore Stop was created and tested by a team of physicians and has been helping couples sleep for over 18 years. It is the #1 selling anti-snoring medicine in the U.S.
Thank you, Snore Stop. You saved my marriage.
Snore Stop sprays or tablets are now available nationwide at Rite Aid and CVS. Or you can go online at snorestop.com. Don't wait. It's time to try Snore Stop and make every night a better night for both of you.
Thanks, Snore Stop. Now I'm back in the bedroom.
So don't wait. Try Snore Stop, the #1 selling anti-snoring medicine in the U.S. Spray or tablets are available today at Rite Aid and CVS or online at snorestop.com. That's snorestop.com. Snore Stop, keeping you together.
This is Dave Ramsey, and you're listening to your home for live and local conservative talk. The Big Talker, KQAM.
it's a little Metallica there for you this morning. This is Jim Price on the Voice of Reason. I got John here with me.
And we are in the house.
That's it. Hey, I know that we talked about a little earlier. Hey, what a great segment, right? We talked about AOC and the lunacy, and talking about, hey, how great a candidate would be that actually they said more freedoms, more liberties, and less spending. And then we all know that they're going to lie to us. A bunch of liars, right? They're not going to tell us the truth. But hey, we keep electing them anyway, right?
True.
What I mean, it's like, well, hey, he's got speeding tickets in his past. We can't elect that guy. He's a bad guy. We want a guy that's never lived a day in life. And, well, anyway, so we're just lying to ourselves, right? How do you want me to lie to you? That's what we're doing, right? I'm Jim Price. I'm the host of The Jim Price Show. I have a weekly show. It's look us up on Facebook, The Jim Price Show, also on YouTube. My videos are up there. Like, share, comment, do all that good stuff. We are on KQM Live on YouTube right now. Also, hey, like, share, comment. I've been commenting on the feed this morning. I did have somebody wish me a happy birthday, so
that's right.
Thank you very much for that. Yeah. This is KQAM. We're on 1480 AM, 102.5 FM. We do have something special to do in the 8 o'clock hour, and what is that? We got Rocklahoma tickets. We got 2 passes for the 3-day Rock Fest.
721-8255.
Caller number 2.
Right here on KQAM.
Caller number 2, 316-721-8255. If you want those 2 Rocklahoma tickets. Somebody wants tickets, you got to call in right now. One of the crazy things that we keep doing, and I know one of the in that commercial break we had Joe Rogan, and the guy has come out of obscurity because of the cage fighting, right?
Right.
He does the MMA thing. He's been a big advocate of cannabis. He's been a big advocate of personal freedoms, of personal liberties. And one of my comments, he kind of talked about it there, is, hey, if you want to be an attack helicopter, do it. But don't put that on me. I don't know you're an attack helicopter, and I don't know how to deal with you as an attack helicopter. Just go do your thing. I can't, this lunacy of which we live with, this whole, and I do call it lunacy because the problem is it's not 60% of the population. It's not, we're talking 1-2% of people that decided that they want to be an attack helicopter, and they're this or that or the other thing, and it's creating a lot of confusion that somehow I'm supposed to interpret who you are. And John, you can walk up to me today and you want to be an attack helicopter. Well, I don't see your shirt that says I'm an attack helicopter today, and so I don't know how to deal with you. I just treat you like another person.
Right.
Hey man, how's it going? Hey, I'm an attack helicopter. You got to treat me better than that. Whoa, Jackson. I just said hi. I just was going hi. How you doing? Well, don't give me that. You don't ask me how I'm doing. It's none of your business. Like, what? So we've become. It's like everything's an offense. Everything's opposite. It's this opposite disease of what we do, what we have. I don't understand it. It really floors me that we have people that run around there and want to be offended by the wind blowing, or well, you don't believe in solar. Do you know solar has cadmium in it? Do you know what cadmium is, John?
No, I don't.
Cadmium is a material that will actually create tumors, lesions, and cancers in your body that will destroy you. But
funny how that never gets out.
But by the way, solar panels don't last forever. Hailstorm is the best deterrent of having a solar panel, because they will destroy them. But the other thing is that they do have a lifespan, and they put out low voltage. People think solar panels, I'm going to put a solar panel on my house and all this other stuff. To get your house to be truly solar efficient and be compatible, it's like $30,000.
Wow.
You have to have a room full of batteries, which, by the way, batteries put off toxic emissions. But it's a room like the size of your laundry room. In most houses, they have a laundry room. It got, it's a little 8x7 room, and you got to have this room full of batteries to be able to store the power. But it's low voltage, and it's only going to work when the sun's shining. And to have 2 days worth of batteries, we've already proven that the best factory in the world would take 1,000 years to build enough batteries for everybody to have 2 days worth of storage for battery backup. So it's just a crazy little thing that we want to run around and say, it sounds so great. Let's do more wind power and let's do more solar. But the footprint of a wind generator is 100 years. The carbon footprint takes 100 years to pay it back, but they only last 25 to 35 years. It's not that good. That's not good return on investment. And then the solar panel thing, it is, again, low voltage. Is it a supplemental? Will it make things a little bit better? Yeah, but the technology and the ability is just not there. I do applaud people who want to do those things, but how many electric bills at $200 a month can you pay with $30,000?
Oh, quite a bit.
Yeah. If you do the math, someone do the math for me.
Quite a bit.
Let's divide let's divide $30,000 by $200 and tell me how many months or how many years that really is. I'm Jim Price. This is the Voice of Reason. We got a hard break coming up here. We'll be back after these messages.
Now back to the KQAM News Desk.
Today, a federal court takes up President Trump's effort to spend pre-appropriated money on a southern border wall.
Calling it both unconstitutional and illegal, California and 19 other states are bringing one lawsuit. Next week, a federal judge in Washington will consider a bid by the U.S. House to stop President Trump from spending any Defense Department money on the border wall. Scott Carr, Washington.
Key U.S. officials next week will be briefing Congress on the situation as tensions ratchet up with Iran.
The United States claims to have images of Iranian commercial vessels it believes are carrying missiles.
But correspondent Joe Johns reports
the government has provided no proof the ships are carrying hidden missiles.
A deputy head of Iran's Revolutionary Guard said short-range land-based Iranian missiles could reach U.S. warships in the Gulf. Word of the death of legendary architect I.M. Pei has been released. Pei died earlier this week at the age of 102. I'm John Trout.
Want a more beautiful lawn this season? The Home Depot has a few suggestions in one bag. Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action, starting at just $26.68. It feeds your lawn, it weeds your lawn, and it prevents crabgrass for up to 4 months. 3 of the most common lawn problems, 1 great solution. Today is the day for doing with Scott's Turf Builder Triple Action, starting at just $26.68 a bag. Now at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. While supplies last, continental U.S. only.
At Dell, we know running a small business takes hard work. As a thank you, for all of Small Business Month, we're offering up to 45% off select computers with Intel Core processors. Plus, get additional savings when you call the Dell Small Business Technology Advisor. Call 877-BUY-DELL today. That's 877-BUY-DELL. Additional savings valid May 6th through 30th at 8 a.m. Eastern on select computers from customer calls Dell. Excludes Dell Canvas, PowerEdge T30, and select order codes.
Kansas Mid-America Network News. Good Friday. Authorities say a 13-year-old Kansas boy died and 4 other people were injured in a crash in southwest Missouri. That crash happening just before 10:30 Wednesday morning, just west of Branson. The Missouri State Patrol says a Dodge minivan slowed down to make a left turn and was rear-ended by a Toyota pickup truck. Cake TV reports 13-year-old Ace Garrett of Emporia was a passenger in the minivan and was taken to a hospital where he later died. The driver of the van and 3 other passengers were hospitalized with minor injuries. The pickup driver was not hurt. It's warmed up in Kansas this week, and combine that with a faulty air conditioning unit at the Kansas Department of Insurance, and that office is closed down. Insurance Commissioner Vicki Schmidt said the office will reopen Monday. The faulty air conditioning unit sent temperatures in the office into the 90s this week. I'm Rick Everett, Kansas Mid-America Network News.
NextEra Energy Resources, a company that develops wind farms across the country and have been doing that for over 2 decades. Folks, they're the ones that are putting together the Soldier Creek Wind Farm in Nemaha County. And they recognize there's a vocal minority that needs some answers. The fact is, when you look at the project area and the people opposing it, especially those that are claiming it's too close to them, it's not even close to their backyards. In fact, many of them are in separate towns. It's a land rights issue. The landowner has the right to call the shots on what his land can and can't do. It's un-American to dictate to them. So, folks, this company that can provide low-cost energy for many educational institutions like Kansas State, Washburn University, Topeka Public Schools. Friends, this project will benefit the entire community in Nemaha County. I look forward to the county commissioners making the right decision, moving that Soldier Creek Wind project forward. Call your county commissioner. Ask him for any questions you might have.
Coming spring 2019. Hail.
Ouch. Oh.
Wind. Freezing temperatures. Tornadoes. That's mayhem.
Hi, I'm Mark Collier, your local Allstate agent. We're your insurance agency interested in doing what's best for you. Before mayhem strikes, call us at our Goddard office, 316-413-4014, and find us on Facebook at Collier Allstate. Are you in good hands?
Here's your latest forecast on the Big Talker, KQAM, for this morning. Partly sunny and 83, breezy with wind gusts today and tonight up to 35 miles an hour. 30% chance of showers and storms tonight late, mostly cloudy and 67. 50-50 chance for tomorrow, high around 76. I'm Amp Harrell, and that's your latest forecast on Wichita's big station. The Big Talker, AM 1480 and 102.5 FM, KQAM.
At 8:35, it's currently 69 degrees. Hey, it's Joe Pags, and you're listening to Your Home for live and local conservative talk, AM 1480 and 102.5 FM, KQAM.
Kicking the dog. Wait, no, that's not the right. What is that? Breaking the law. All right, this is Jim Price, the voice of reason. Andy Hoosier's in Pittsburgh, PA, doing the whole gun conference out there. He's having a good time.
That's the first time he told me, ever been asked to be on a panel like that, and he's pretty excited about it.
Wow, that's great. I mean, the local guy making the national footprint, that's always good.
Yep.
I'm Jim Price, the host of the Jim Price Show. I'm on the weekends here at KQAM. Tomorrow I'm going to be on from 2 to 4:30 because NASCAR is pushing me back.
All right.
But that's all right. Those guys turn left and go really fast, so that's their thing. Wildwood Cellars, award-winning wines from your local vineyard. Learn about the different types of wines, flavors, and varieties, which wines really do. I still don't get it. It's like, whatever. I don't understand it. A lot of people are like, oh, this is so good. But I'm just not that guy, right? I'm not the guy. But I'll drink it. I do like the stuff they have. Plus, try it before you buy it. They get to let you sample it down there. Enjoy that experience. Plus, the elderberry concentrates. Now, that's good for allergies and inflammation and things like that. They've been around for years on that stuff. It's in Wichita at Maple and Ridge or just off the turnpike there in Mulvane.
Yep.
Go online, wildwoodcellars.com. That's wildwoodcellars.com. Well, we do have those Rocklahoma tickets. We do want to make sure and give those away. 2 passes for the 3-day Rocklahoma Festival in Pryor, Oklahoma. We don't want to forget to get those out there.
Caller number 2.
Caller number 2, whenever you guys want to go in there and pound in there, we'll get to that here in a minute. We did talk about some of this whole thing during the break, me and John were going on about electric cars and wind farms and solar panels. I want you guys to think about this. Look it up. We, as the state, subsidize the wind farms in the state of Kansas at 70%. But then we turn around and sell that power across the borders. But then every electric car that you watch rolling around town and all that good stuff that makes everybody feel good about what they think they're doing, the federal government subsidizes those cars to 70% also. So we're subsidizing electric cars, ethanol, wind farms, solar panels, but yet, hold on, if they were really viable technology, if it was really what people wanted, don't you think it would be just affordable and the companies could just make money at it without having to be subsidized? You would think that? You got to get your mic on there. I didn't hear you.
Sorry, you would think that, yes.
You would think that, hey, if it was really a viable business, it would be a moneymaker, but yet we have to subsidize and prop these companies up to make ourselves feel good. We are the number 2 or number 3, the amount of money we spend. Now, by population, we beat everybody hands down. We beat everybody hands down. But the problem is that we don't want to believe that we're not doing a good enough job, that we need to do more Green Deal or get rid of farting cows or whatever it is. And it's like, you know what, guys, we're lying to ourselves when we watch these Teslas roll around. They're selling these cars up to $70,000 for an electric car who are powered by coal-powered power plants, but then we subsidize them to 70%. Mm-hmm. How much would that car be? How much would you have to buy that car if it wasn't subsidized? I mean, if they're selling for $70,000, How bad would it be? I mean, it's really ridiculous. Looks like we got a winner, huh? Yep. All right. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What's your name?
My name's Sam.
Dan, you got 2 tickets to the Rocklahoma Fest 3-day pass to Rocklahoma. If you want to come down to the office, you know where we're located here at Mays and Kellogg?
Mays and Kellogg, okay. I'll be there today.
That'd be great. John,
let's get it. Let me get your name, sir.
What's your first?
It's Sam, S-A-M, Casey, C-A-S-E-Y.
Sounds great. And who made you a winner there?
You guys did.
All right, KQAM, right, 102.5. Yep. I do appreciate your time, and come on in, get your tickets. We'll have them at the front desk for you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And we do have another caller.
All right. Go ahead, caller. Are you there?
I am.
Hello, your name?
My name is Nick.
Hey, Nick, how's it going?
Good. Are we on right now?
Yes, sir, we're on.
Good morning. Yeah, this is Nick. Good morning, Jim and John. Well, I think we've found a theme throughout the whole show here this morning. Yeah. Less government, more individual freedom and individual rights, and less subsidies and all that.
Yeah.
So one of the things that always comes up on this show and when we talk about energy or food or drugs or whatever the case may be is this cannabis issue. Right. And, I don't know what Ford thought about plastics or fuel or food or fiber.
He had an entire hemp car, though, remember?
Right, or even therapeutic values. But I do know that whether or not President Trump has these tariffs on to combat the bully syndrome of certain countries,
right.
I do think that he should actively take a participant role in getting cannabis, the whole plant, any part of whether it's low THC or high THC,
right.
off of the Controlled Substances Act so the people, the farmers, can use it without being FBI background checked, without having the police coming around
and
checking each little plant to see if it's got over 10% THC
right.
or 0.3% THC,
well, now,
any of this stuff, and just let the people have it and use it for what they want to use it for, whether it's energy, food,
right.
or therapeutic value.
Well, now he did decriminalize. Now think about this. He did criminalize and took it off of Schedule 1 hemp. Now that happened about 2 months ago, and the state of Kansas, Kelly did go ahead and sign the Hemp Act that did allow for industrial hemp, to be grown and processed in the state of Kansas. That's a nationwide deal. He did not decriminalize the THC, but he did decriminalize the hemp growth. So hemp is the male plant that doesn't have as much THC in it as opposed to the female plant. And so he did actually do that at the federal level. He did take it off a class Schedule 1, which is kind of weird. You look at cannabis as being a Schedule 1, but heroin is a Schedule 2. It's a lesser drug than cannabis, which is, and that right there should tell you that there's some fallacy going on. Somebody's lying to you.
Right.
But Trump did sign that into law that allows for industrial hemp nationwide, taking it off of Schedule 1. But some of the local PDs and the sheriff's department are not playing well. And the problem is if you don't have a good attorney, then here's the thing is you're going to have to hire an attorney, and then you have to have a good attorney that knows the laws and is going to be able to push back. But it is decriminalized. Industrial hemp, you can get those permits to do those things.
But you still have to have government control and regulations over it. The KBI,
right.
The KBI testified that officers cannot tell the difference between high THC cannabis and low THC cannabis. So the qualitative, meaning there is presence of THC, is all they're looking for, and they're not worried about the qualitative, the amount.
Well,
of
that
THC.
Drives arrests up, and that drives the flow of people through courts, and it also drives up people going to jail, which is about job security, not about freedom.
The first caller to talking about renewable energies,
yes, sir.
The fact remains, and the point is still that cannabis as the plant, whether it's low THC or high THC,
right.
needs to come off the Controlled Substances Act and be allowed more individual liberty, limited government, and all those things that we as conservative Republicans talk about. Because the fact is, we basically lost Kobach because, in part, to this issue.
He decided he wanted to go against cannabis, and those independents that went for Kelly put her into office, and that's
and
a hands down.
Look at what these Democrats are doing now. They're being more conservative on this issue than the conservatives say they are.
Right.
Now, I know we love campaign finance reports with pharmaceutical companies, alcohol and tobacco and whatever.
Right.
But we need to get on board with this right now before it causes any more damage.
You're exactly
right. Thank you
right.
all for taking my call, and God bless you, and you have a good day.
Thank you, sir. You bet. Well, and he brought up a lot of great points on that. We have a situation where we are so used to doing what we're doing. My idea was, okay, let me give you this. Well,
he's coming out of the box, ladies and gentlemen.
This is okay. So we'll go with one thing. The wind. Okay, so if you put the spiral wind turbines on every single telephone pole in the city of Wichita, would we really need any other power other than that? I mean, think about 3 to 4 foot or 2 to 3 foot spiral wind generators on every single telephone pole, which is not an eyesore, which is already existing. We just put a cap on the top of it. Boom, you wire it in, we got power. So my thing is hey, why can't we do that? How simple is that? Why have we got to go out here and destroy, all this beautiful acreage, all this the Flint Hills, the Smoky Hills, with all these big fans with lights on the top of them blinking all the time? It's kind of freaky at night. They all come on and they blink on, blink off. It's kind of like, whoa, what was that?
That's a FAA regulation. So
I know. Regulations are always helpful.
Oh, did I say that? I'm sorry.
You just stepped in your own bear trap. But, we have these things. We're doing that. But, okay, look at the whole idea of cannabis, right? The hemp. Let's go with hemp. Ford actually built a hemp car completely out of hemp and proved that it actually, this is true. It was actually more collision resistant, dent resistant, was lighter, stronger than metal, was better than plastic. But we made it hemp or marijuana. Marijuana is a made-up term. It's actually not the real word for it. It's called cannabis. It's not called marijuana. Marijuana is a slang, but it's called cannabis. He actually built this entire car out of cannabis, and it was an amazing vehicle. But because we decided to make it a criminal offense to have that, we run around and do those things. Are we actually doing something better for our society, or are we just perpetuating more jobs for prison guards? Those are things that we have to think about. Why are we doing things that we do? We continue to do the same thing over and over again, but we can't do this. We keep making each other criminals. We keep trying to say, you're a bad person, you're a bad person. Stop. Why don't we go and make it mandatory that every single law has a sunset? Then the people that we have elected to represent us are going to put laws in that are important, not ones that are dreamed up. We're going to make sure and refine what we have if there's a sunset law on it, right? Hey, that's going to keep you more busy making real laws, not making up new laws or trying to imprison everybody, right?
We do have a phone call.
Do you have a phone call? Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, this is Ray.
Hey, Ray, how's it going today, sir?
I'm having a good old time. Hey, you're talking about messing up the view with all these towers.
Yes, sir.
The eco people used to use the word pristine all the time.
Right.
And okay, we're not keeping everything pristine now because it's not in their backyard.
Exactly.
And where's the pristine view if you clutter it up?
Where's
with
the Sierra Club
things?
that says they want to keep the wetlands and the plains clean? Where are those folks up in arms? Oh, because it's green energy, we got to like it, right? Because it's a solar panel, we got to shove it up our hiney and say, oh, we like that. Nobody likes that. That's ridiculous. It does not make sense.
Well,
so
two-face is their method of operation.
Yeah. Well, we have situations where we double speak and we flip-flop on a topic only because it makes us feel good, and we fearmonger. There was a study that 1907 to 2016, they actually show that there's been a 1% increase in total forestry in the United States while we've tripled the population, but yet we're saying that we don't have enough trees and that we're ruining the environment, but yet we actually have more trees now than we had in 1907. When they started the study. So we keep fear-mongering. We keep talking about how the world's we're going to die in 12 years. It's going to be over. If it's over in 12 years, why are we doing any of this? Why don't we just all go home and call it a day? So
one more quick comment.
Yes, sir.
They take their readings for the world for the CO2 from Mauna Loa out in Hawaii.
Right.
Now that's downwind
from the Pacific Rim.
China.
Yep.
Exactly.
The Southern Pacific Rim is the most pollutant area in the world. Look it up.
Yeah.
It's a fact, hands down. They are just killing themselves over there. Hey, I do appreciate your call. We're coming up on a commercial break here. I got to get going. I appreciate your time, sir, and you have a good day. All right, I'm Jim Price. This is the Voice of Reason. We got a commercial break here. We'll be back here in a few minutes.
This is the Voice of Reason with Andy Hoosier. Opening markets on KQAM. Brought to you by Schmidt & Sons of Mount Hope and Winfield.
Higher in the livestock, mixed in the grains and soybeans. That's the way we're going to start Friday. Let's check the ag futures markets. Brady Charles at Schwieterman Incorporated is here with all the information. Good morning, Brady.
Good morning. Well, yeah, good start in the corn and the wheat this morning, weaker in the bean complex. And the livestock has opened higher to start the Friday as well. June live cattle are up 70 at 111.17. August up 62 at 108.57. October up 87 at 108.80. May feeders are steady at 134.22. August up 82 at 144.15. And September up $1.25 at 145.47. June lean hogs are up 20 at 92.35. In the grain markets, July Kansas City wheat's up 4 at 420 3/4. Sep's up 3.5 at 431 1/4. Deese is up 3 1/4 at 452. In the corn, July's up 3.5 at 382 1/2. Sep's up 3 at 390 1/4. Deese is up 2 1/4 at 398 3/4. July beans are down 11 1/2 at 828 1/4. August down 11 1/2 at 835. Nove down 11 at 854. July bean oil is down 24 at 27.48. The meal's down 4.30 at 297.40. Oats are up 2 at 296 1/4. Cotton down 68 at 66.12. This has been Brady Charles from Schwieterman Incorporated. For questions on these markets, any other markets, and all your marketing needs, please give us a call at 800-272-9131 or visit us online at upthelimit.com.
Thank you, Brady. Market information from Mid-America Ag Network.
There we go. This is Jim Price and the Voice of Reason. We do have a small commercial break there just before we go into our last segment. And John, we got a caller?
Yes, we have a caller. We have a caller. We have a sponsor.
Sponsor, sorry. Oh, I got that wrong. Sorry about that. This is Jim Price. How are you today?
Good morning, Jim and John. Happy Fried Chicken Friday. This is Katie with the Inman Harvest Cafe. Normally, Andy talks all about it ahead of time, but yeah. I know he's way off in a whole different part of the country.
Yes,
so that's
he is.
okay.
But you got me at fried chicken. I'm listening. I'm all
yeah.
ears. Yeah.
I know. It's very exciting.
Yes. How are you guys doing today?
Well, we're doing great. It's always a rocking and rolling kind of day on Fridays over here. So
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So you got any specials for today? Go ahead.
Well, okay. Here. I'll just talk you through it. How about that?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Okay. So every Friday we have our big fried chicken buffet down here at Inman Harvest Cafe, and so we put on, and all of our food is made from scratch, 100% homemade.
Fantastic.
So we start with real ingredients. Our mashed potatoes are real. Like we peel potatoes and then we mix it with butter and cream and salt and pepper, and that's like the ingredients. That's it. Yeah. And our gravies are made from scratch. Like our beef, our brown gravy is like with the roast.
Man, I'm hungry already.
Broth.
You got to stop. I'm ready for lunch. It's only 9 o'clock. What are we doing here?
I know. It's hard. And so besides the fried chicken and all of that stuff, and we have vegetables and gravies and mashed potatoes. Besides all of that, we also have several different entrees on there. Today we're having a scalloped potato with ham. We're also having a pasta dish that's got taco. It's like a taco pasta dish, and there's cheese and salsa, refried beans, and then pasta. More cheese on top. We're kind of about cheese.
Cheese and more cheese. You got me there. Okay. Man, this is wife material. I tell you what, this is great. I love this. So you want to give us your location down there?
Okay, so we're at 112 South Main in downtown Inman.
Yep.
And our buffet goes from 11 to 1:30 at lunchtime.
Right.
And then from 5 to 8 in the evening. In the evening when you come, the buffet comes with, it's also got our famous roast beef out there besides all those other things that I talked about. And it comes with a free slice of pie, okay? And our pie is also homemade from scratch. So today our pies are coconut cream, chocolate, peach crumb, sour cream raisin, custard cherry, banana split, and fresh strawberry.
Banana split.
Man, good. Coconut cream. So you guys got to head down to Inman and get you some fantastic lunch down there. I tell you what, if you're not going there, you ain't listening. You got to get to Inman. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you guys are doing all this stuff with scratch. So many times we get this churched up stuff around here that's not that good because we know it's out of a box, it's frozen.
Right.
But you guys are doing it fresh every day. That's fantastic. I love it.
No boxes, cans, or bottles. That's our motto over here. And John Wright is your name, right, John?
That is correct.
Did you used to work at KFDI?
Yep, that's me.
Yeah.
Okay, my uncle is Big Al Thiessen.
Nice.
Yes, we did work together a time or two, yes.
Yeah. So
Tell him I
fun
said
stuff.
hi.
I'll be excited to be listening to you next week.
Well, thank you very much. As the world is getting smaller every day.
That's
It
right.
is. That's right.
Well, hey, I do appreciate you calling in on that. That's fantastic. And you guys, so give us your address and your name one more time and maybe a phone number to call for we have questions.
Sure. Okay, so we're at 112 South Main, downtown Inman. Our phone number, if you got questions or comments or you want to just talk politics with me, I have that too. So our number is 620-585-6925.
Yeah.
And you can check us out online at facebook.com/Inman Harvest Cafe.
Oh, fantastic. I tell you what, guys, I'm hungry already.
Man.
Fried chicken, roast beef, coconut cream pie, strawberry
Banana
pie.
split.
I mean, come on. You guys are killing it down there. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, well, I appreciate it.
We're the place to come.
That's honestly, it is. I'm. It's my birthday. I think I need to change. I think I got to change lunch locations to get down there.
You get a free scoop of homemade today. So.
Oh, fantastic! Well, that is awesome. All right. Well, you guys have a great day down there. If you guys are hungry, head on down to Inman. If you're not heading there, you're not listening. So, thank you very much.
All right, thanks. We'll talk to you later, guys.
Have a good day.
We'll see you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, I tell you what, man, I'm not kidding you. I mean, you're talking homemade. We're talking. You got me at homemade gravy.
Flips.
I tell you what, that's a lost skill. Homemade gravy is, that's a good thing right there. So we are just about to end the 3 hours. We appreciate you guys listening to me. I'm Jim Price. I'm the host of the Jim Price Show on the weekends. I'll be on from 2 to 4:30 tomorrow. Andy will be back on Tuesday. I'm going to do his midday show on Monday from 11 to 2. John's going to be on from 6 to 8.
6 to 8, yep.
Very good.
On Monday.
Remember, folks, you got to take care of ourselves first. We got to make sure we're doing a good job for ourselves every day, being a better man, being a better woman, being a better citizen. What's that?
So I think we have to place some spots here.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm getting ready to finish up here. So I'm Jim Price. This is not the Jim Price Show. This is the voice of reason. Remember, be a better citizen, be a better patriot every single day. Take care of ourselves, take care of our neighbors. We will have a great country. We'll be the light on that top of that hill. Make sure we're taking care of us first before we look to others. Don't look to the government for handouts. Take care of you. Be a mentor. Be a good person. That's what this is all about. We can make America great, right? So you guys have a great weekend. I'm going to go have a great birthday. And I tell you what, Inman might be part of the path today.
I'm telling you what, yeah.
So,
we'll say hi to Big Al again.
Yeah.
Talk to him in a minute.
So, all right, guys. Well, you guys have a wonderful weekend. We will see you guys on Monday.
This is Leroy, the tractor man from Schmidt & Sons. I know you've experienced it. While harvesting, you have a breakdown, and the parts won't be here until tomorrow. If you run a Gleaner combine, you have an advantage over others in the fact that when you come in for the parts you need, you can get what you need and get back to harvesting. We have genuine quality AGCO parts, so they fit right and do the job for which they were intended. We are widely known to be the dealer that stocks more genuine AGCO parts than anyone in the area. After all, we service what we sell and back it up with parts. If you don't run a Gleaner combine, why not check us out? We ship AGCO parts daily because of our large inventory. We have you covered with parts and service this harvest. Call or come to Schmidt & Sons, 6 miles west of Andale, or in Winfield on the west side of town along Highway 160. Or you can find us on the web at schmidtinc.com.
The tractor man will be the one, just a turning on the charm with a tractor in each arm, down at Schmidt & Sons.
A trusted name for quality, that's Burwell Construction. It's the spring storm season.